KOCT Sports is proud to present high school football once again. We are back. A Friday evening, Friday Night Lights tradition is renewed. Art Root along with Joshua Naliai, Oceanside standout. So excited to be here tonight, Josh. It's the city championship. It's the rivalry game. Brought to you tonight with the generous support of the Oceanside Unified School District. Here we are. It's time for high school football. Josh, again, rivalry game. Chuck the records out the window. What do you see as the key in tonight's matchup?
All right, first of all, I'm so excited to be here, part of the City of Oceanside's championship game. Tonight's matchup will showcase a transition to the next era. No longer on the sidelines is John Carroll and Herb Meyer. Jerry Ralph and Dave Rodriguez lead the charge now. Oceanside's strengths is their offensive line, anchored by junior offensive tackle Donovan Laie. El Camino has their own high-profile athlete, Chris Brown. If they're able to get him the ball 20 to 25 times tonight, I like their chances.
He's a workhorse indeed. All right, Josh, we've set the stage. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups.
Our thoughts are with his wife, Jessica. We would like everybody to please rise to your feet.
All right, we're going to take a look here at Oceanside's starting lineup. Josh, who stands out for you?
So Max Schufer starting off at the quarterback position, a former DN, now putting up big numbers. Julian Hicks, Jake Girardi are receivers that Max will be looking for. Jacob Bernard has really stepped his game up, and that offensive line is huge, featuring Laie, Bernard, Leasau, Buyacek, and Kaleopa Tuisei.
All right, let's take a look at the next card. The defensive starters for Oceanside.
And so looking at that, Jake Girardi sticks out again at that DN position. It'll be crucial that he gets containment. Isaiah Kaleopa Tuisei at the D tackle position, and Donovan Laie represents there as well. Jacob Bernard, like I said, really stepping up at the linebacker position. Micah Lennon, Armand Fasili will go between the safety and linebacker position. And then the DBs for Oceanside, Julian Hicks and Azizi Hearn are standouts.
All right, we're going to stop down for just a moment for presentation of our national anthem. America with our national anthem. Well done by the El Camino marching band tonight, and of course the color guard there honoring our nation's flag. All right, Josh, let's once our production truck's got it ready, we'll go through those starting lineups again, right? Pick up right where we left off.
And now Zales gets cued.
Here we go, El Camino.
At the quarterback position, Jaden Casey returns for his junior season. Featured at the running back position is Chris Brown, and he has a wealth of receivers: Sean Ward, Wayne Stewart, Garrett Hendren, and Christian Betts. Holding down the line is Eddie Laie, Caraval, Kerwin, Wood, and Rodriguez.
All right, let's take a look at the defense for El Camino.
On the defensive side, starting at the middle linebacker, Jostin Ignacio is their vocal leader and maintains everybody's information. Oman Henderson at the DN position, Jacob Vose, Anthony Tua, and Rocky Katawanga is someone to watch tonight that makes a lot of plays. Jagger Knapp, their leading tackler. Cameron Bullock at the cornerback positions, comes up with plays, making interceptions. Marcus Parsons at the corner, Wayne Stewart, and Chris Brown rounds it out for the defense.
All right, we're going to hightail it back upstairs. Not even time enough for a break, so we're going to sprint upstairs and bring you the action from the booth. You're watching high school football right here on KOCT. Be back with you in 30 seconds. And the action begins with a touchback. So Oceanside will take over 1st and 10 from the 20.
All right, I need to work on my cardiovascular.
Me too.
Running up those stairs definitely lost my
Gulping
breath.
some serious air up here.
Woo.
Schuffer brings him to the line. First play from scrimmage. Quick hitter there. And that's Garcia. Gets it out to the 27-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 7.
Nice little bubble route down there to Garcia. He's their short slot back that they'll look to get him something short, make a defender miss, and pick up some yards.
Schuffer been a pleasant surprise for Oceanside this year. Two-way standout, quarterback and defensive end. Unusual combination. 2nd and 3. Inside give there. That'll be Bernard on the carry, and he is tripped up, maybe a gain of half a yard. We'll call it no gain there. We'll call it 3rd and 3.
If you recognize the last name of Bernard, that's because his older brother, Josh Bernard, actually played here a while ago, going both ways, just as he is, was actually the 2014 CIF Offensive Player of the Year.
Four wides here for Oceanside on 3rd and 3. Chance for a critical stop for El Camino early. And that's a great tackle there by El Camino. In on the stop, number 43 for the Wildcats.
Anthony Tua, that's a great stop for the Wildcats. A 3-and-out on their first series. Doesn't seem like they are distracted at all by this rivalry game. Very in tuned as a defense.
Tua, 5'9", 202-pound senior, great open field tackle there. And Oceanside will have to kick it away. And a name we'll be calling a lot tonight. Who's the punter tonight, Josh?
Jake Girardi, the son of Coach Girardi, who is their offensive line coach, and he plays everywhere.
And Girardi's punt goes out of bounds at the El Camino 48. Wildcats will start off with great field position for their first possession of the night.
And we're going to be mindful of this matchup right here. If Chris Brown is able to get the ball rolling, I think that they have a good chance tonight, knowing that Oceanside is going to put 8 men in the box. Trying to contain them will be his top priority, will be Oceanside's top priority.
Yeah, we'll see how well the Pirates have made the adjustments on defense in the last couple weeks. They got gashed pretty good on the edges 3 weeks ago, and we know the coaching staff doubled down on some preparation there to tighten up that defense on the edges. We'll see if it's paying off tonight. And there's the give to Brown. Bounces outside. He's got a crease. Still on his feet. Knocked out at the 25-yard line. That's a gain of 27. Actually, they're going to mark him out at the 29. but a gain of 23 for Brown. That's a brilliant start for El Camino.
The thing that you'll notice about Brown is that he has great vision. He pushed it up to the line of scrimmage initially and then bounced it out to the left. One thing that he likes to do is bounce it outside.
And El Camino hurries it to the line. And again, another give to Brown, finds another crack in the defense. Barrels his way down to the 20. A host of Oceanside defenders jump on his back to slow him down, but no bother for Brown. He gains 7.
Yeah, and it looks like Coach Ralph is looking to attack those linebackers, which is a new crop. They actually had 2 big injuries this season coming in which they were banking on Tanner Shaw and Adrian Moreno.
Actually, we'll give him 8 there, and Brown up the middle. Again with some room, churning those legs and brings it all the way down to the 6-yard line. It's been the Chris Brown show for the first 3 plays.
It has been the Chris Brown show, and he's looking real dangerous if you're standing on the Oceanside sidelines right now. They currently have 8 men in the box, still are unable to contain this man.
And that's 4 carries in a row for Brown. This time slowed down and stopped in the backfield. Jacob Bernard led the charge for the Pirates.
Jacob Bernard on the tackle, but I'd say that the play right there belongs to Jesus Gonzalez, in which he kept containment on the outside and forced him back in. Jake Bernard on a great tackle.
Well, we talked about it a minute ago. These kids show that they're coachable, so nice play, nice team defense there. One guy funnels it in, the other guy cleans it up. 2nd and goal from the 7. Brown already 43 yards rushing in this game. And we are just underway. Still 8:28 remaining here in the first quarter. Did he get it in? He does indeed. Touchdown, El Camino. Wayne Stewart takes it around right in and scampers in for 7 yards. Brilliant play call, great execution.
Excellent play. Wayne Stewart is their leading receiver. And also Coach Ralph mentioned to me, don't be surprised if we see him at tailback tonight. I was curious on why they would want to take out Chris Brown, but seeing that would make me feel like Stewart should be getting the ball more.
Yeah, nifty play call, and Stewart showed good acceleration, good burst there getting around the corner. Extra point on the way, and it is good. So the Wildcats draw first blood as we get another look there at Stewart with the carry for the touchdown. Rivalry game. Looks like El Camino is sky high, and they have the early 1-touchdown lead.
I had a chance to speak to Chris Brown and to Rocky Katawanga before the game. They were both anxious to get this game started, really remembering the game that they had against Oceanside in the CIF championship game, which for them built confidence, knowing that they could hang with them, and they were actually looking forward to this game.
Yeah, that championship game you mentioned, a narrow 23-14 contest went Oceanside's way, as has been the case in this rivalry for the last decade or so. It's been pretty one-sided with Oceanside coming out, what did we look at, 10 of the last 11, something like that?
So 11-1 since 2004.
Yeah, so El Camino looking to get off the schneid tonight. And they are set to kick off. Kick is on the way, good booming end-over-end kick's gonna get to the end zone, and that's gonna be a touchback. Oceanside will start again at the 20. That's 2 touchbacks for El Camino's kicker tonight. Elias Jacobson, the 6'1", 170-pound junior, doing his job on special teams. As you get a look at the El Camino cheer squad here. One of the great things about high school football Friday Night Lights, we're just so pleased to bring you all the action. Art Root, Joshua Naliai, the entire KOCT production team. After a 7-year slumber, we are back, and it feels so good to be here tonight.
It's great to be here.
Schuffer back to throw, looking deep, good double coverage there. Intended receiver there on the play, running that go route was Julian Hicks. Well covered, pass falls harmlessly incomplete.
Schufer on the play action. Felt the pressure coming from the outside from Jacob Vose. May have had that pass a little bit more on par if he didn't feel that pressure coming from that side. Great play by Vose.
All right, 2nd and 10 for the Pirates. Schuffer operating out of the shotgun again. Inside give, and it is swallowed up immediately. I see a lot of hair on the tackle, and that's number 11 for the Wildcats, Rocky Katawanga with the tackle.
And speaking of hair, I talked to Rocky before the game. His brother Spencer actually went to Air Force, had the same hairdo, and was forced to take it off.
Yeah, the Falcons, that's just slightly outside of uniform standards there, just a little bit. Just a little trim, no big deal.
Said he's growing into it, though.
All
Rocking
right.
a fade now.
Yep. All right, so no gain there. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 situation for the Pirates, who are sputtering early here on offense. Schuffer changing the play at the line, and there's going to be a flag. That could be a delay. Let's see what the call is. It is indeed delay of game on the Pirates. It's going to bring up 3rd and 15.
3rd and long, definitely the situations that Oceanside wanted to stay out of. They can air it out, but 3rd and long, with that offensive line protecting, they might have a chance, but nobody ever wants to be in a 3rd and long situation.
Good look there at the Oceanside line. You mentioned in the open, Josh, they are massive.
They are massive, and they average almost 300 pounds across the board. Albert Leasau actually steps in for Dylan Tuisete, who was their center all throughout the year.
3rd and 15 for the Pirates. El Camino drops back in a zone look here. They just want to keep everything in front. Schuffer scrambling, looking for some time. Again, well covered. El Camino defense has come to play. Wide receiver in the vicinity there, number 81 for the Pirates. That is Jake Girardi. And what did Coach Rodriguez call him in your interview with him earlier this week?
The Swiss Army knife, the jack of all trades. And that matchup looks great. So as you look at Jake Girardi coming in at 6'4", going up against Cameron Bullock, coming out at a 5'6", 5'7". Looks more 5'6" to me as I was looking at him on the sidelines, but 5'6" on the Max Preps roster.
Yeah, that's a matchup to watch for all night tonight. As you see Girardi, we'll call his name plenty tonight as he drops back into punt formation, already on board for his 2nd punt of the night. El Camino gets 2 quick 3-and-outs. It's going to take a Oceanside bounce and roll all the way down to the 34-yard line. So net 46 on the punt, no return. Girardi does his job, but all of a sudden, I mean, we're still early, 6:57 in, but El Camino's controlling field position, and they move the football successfully the first time. Oceanside just stuck in the mud so far.
El Camino came in here with a game plan. That game plan was get Brown the ball. Getting Brown the ball is working. And so I would assume they'll continue to go to Brown and change it up with Stewart.
All right, Jaden Casey brings his Wildcats to the line. Flanked by Chris Brown there in the backfield. 2 wideouts spread out right. Casey rolling to his right. Fires. He's got a receiver wide open. It's Wayne Stewart. He takes it all the way down to the 28. That is a gain of 37, and El Camino is gashing the Oceanside defense. We're going to take a look at a replay, Josh.
So we talked about that Oceanside offensive line, but that time right there, it was the El Camino offensive line that gave Jaden Casey enough time to look down the field.
All right, we're going to hold off on that replay for a second as El Camino, that up-tempo off. There we go. We get another look at it there real quick as Stewart gets it all the way down to the 27-yard line. A huge pickup, and now El Camino on the attack again. At time, nowhere to go for the ball carrier. Going to be a loss of 3. That is Cameron Bullock. Another 2-way player, as so many of these guys are for both squads.
Yeah, both teams have players that go both ways. On the tackle that time was Jason Schroff coming back from that safety position, really looking to force the run. That time able to wrap up Cameron Bullock.
That'll bring up a 2nd and 13 for the Wildcats, who come into tonight's contest with a 3-6 record. But that record, as Jerry Ralph said, could be 7-2 with a couple of fortunate bounces. 2nd and 13 for the Wildcats. Casey, short drop, steps and fires. He's got Bullock, and he's out at the 16-yard line. There is a flag on the far side of the field.
Warning on the defense. There's no yardage. Assess this penalty.
All right, so
Down.
that penalty is going to go against Oceanside, and that is an automatic first down for the Wildcats. Critical mistake for the Pirates defense.
And Oceanside looking frustrated at each other. Some of the linebackers speaking to each other, trying to identify whose assignment that was. They actually started off in a 4-4, are now dropping back to try to put some coverage on these receivers as Jaden looks to pick them apart.
Casey's Josh Casey's getting a lot of time to throw, stepping into his throws nicely, and he's been accurate so far. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Casey again. This time he's got pressure, but it was a screen designed for Brown. Nice tackle there in the open field, though, by Jesus Gonzalez. And we'll call that a short loss on the play. But that time El Camino suckered in the pressure and then found a receiver coming out of the backfield, but Oceanside sniffed it out and did a nice job.
They did, and it looks like they're steering away a little bit from giving Brown the ball, handing it off up the middle, which the Chargers did so a couple of weeks ago. I don't know how well that worked out for them.
I've seen this before. Give it to the workhorse. All right, well, Brown with 43 yards on 4 carries so far, but no carries on this drive yet. It'll be a second, and we'll call it 12 for El Camino. Casey wants a quick hitter, and that slant, he wanted Stewart, but well covered, and that could have been a pick 6.
Yeah, on the coverage that time was Armand Fasili. Fasili, you'll see him navigating between the safety position and linebacker. When I talked to their coach, Orlando Cabrera, leading up into this event, he said that he kind of reminds him of Troy Polamalu. High praise as you're looking at the safety position.
All right, this will bring up the first 3rd and long situation for El Camino tonight. 4:50 remaining here in the first quarter. Wildcats lead 7-0. We're here live, Herb Meyer Stadium, Art Root, Josh Naliai and the KOCT crew. Thrilled to bring you the game tonight as Brown breaks one arm tackle, but not much there. He's going to lose a yard. That's going to bring up a 4th and long situation, and El Camino brings out the field goal unit.
Oceanside applying pressure up the middle, and then on the outside that time was Jordan Dewson on the tackle that time for Oceanside. Dewson is somebody that'll also go both ways, lines up at tight end on the offensive side as well.
All right, Jacobson in to kick. This will be a 38-yard try. Good snap, good hold, kick on the way, and that is going to be short right. Actually, looks like he may have just had the distance, but just pushed it a little bit right. Kick no good. Oceanside will take over there, trailing 7-0.
So we mentioned the Chargers on how they kind of steered away from their game plan, especially when they were close in the end zone. El Camino took a detour from handing off Brown the ball. These are the results early on in the game.
I don't know, maybe Oceanside gave him a new look or a new wrinkle there, but I know that the El Camino Brain Trust is trying to keep things, keep Oceanside on their toes and off balance. Pirates trying to do the same thing to their counterparts. It's an ongoing chess match, and it will be all night long. All right, so Schuffer brings him to the line. 1st and 10 from the 20, and the give there is to Garcia. And he bounces it outside, and will give him a gain of 4. That'll bring up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed on that play was the pulling guard, or actually the pulling tackle, Donovan Laie, just pulling around. First time I've really seen him move, and the thing that I've heard about him, very athletic, is also a basketball player on the basketball team. Posting people up at 6'6".
Speaking of basketball, KOCT thrilled to bring you high school basketball action this season. And is that pass intercepted? Stewart almost came up with it, so close, but it just hit the ground. But KOCT will have high school basketball this season as well, so stay tuned for more details. And we will be, again, back in the saddle for high school sports, renewing a long-standing tradition. Just glad to bring it back to you again for the city of Oceanside.
You know, I really felt like it was a gap that we had within the community, not showing these, and so it just feels special to be part of this programming, bringing it back to the community of Oceanside.
3rd and 6 for the Pirates. Garcia in motion. Schuffer short drop, rhythm throw, and too high for the intended receiver there. That was Jake Girardi. He's gone twice in Girardi's direction and no successful completions yet. That will bring out the kick unit. Girardi stays on the field, of course, to handle the kicking duties for the Pirates. Back deep to receive the punt is Garrett Hendren for the Wildcats.
You know, Oceanside looking to get the ball moving, get their first down of the game to build a little bit of confidence within their offense. Struggling right now to move the ball.
Girardi with the left foot, but this is a great kick. Gonna push Hendren way back. Oh, that's a loose ball. And alertly recovers his own miscue, but that could have been a disaster for the Wildcats. Turnovers have plagued them in a couple of games this year where they were narrow defeats. So El Camino ball security, obviously very important.
Almost lost that one right there. That's exactly what Jerry Ralph had mentioned, that turnovers have been costly for them. Attention to detail, little things. Holding on to the ball, definitely crucial.
All right, so the Wildcats set up shop at the 35. Sean Ward splits out to the left. Stewart in the left slot. High snap, Casey handles it fine. It's to Brown. Spin move, runs over a guy, gets it all the way down to the 47-yard line. Gain of 12, and Brown has definitely got some rhythm tonight. 54 yards on 6 carries so far.
I don't know how you do that, Art Root, but Chris Brown is a first down waiting to happen, almost getting 10 yards on every pop that he's getting the ball today.
Gonna give Brown a breather there after that first down carry. He's been a workhorse so far, on pace for over 200 yards tonight. El Camino 1st and 10, Stewart in motion. And the give there is to number 5. That is Marcus Parsons, 5'10", 180-pound senior. Nifty little run there. He's gonna pick up 9, maybe half a yard short of the first down.
Parsons able to weave his way through that Oceanside defense, and they are just taking it right up the gut right now. And why switch that plan? It's working. 10 yards a pop. I'd stay with it.
El Camino averaging almost 8 yards a carry between their two backs, and there was one short loss by another running back in the previous series, but very effective on the ground here in the first quarter. 2nd and 1. Oceanside showing blitz, and they did get into the neutral zone. We'll see if that's offsides or if they were drawn. And that will be an offsides call against the Pirates. What do you see there, Josh? They trying to manufacture some pressure there?
I think they're trying to bring some blitzes off the edge, hit some different gaps. They know that the inside, they have some linebackers that are clogging it up, so bringing some pressure from the outside, trying to get to Brown in that way, knowing that he's been bouncing it to the outside, seems to be what they're trying to do right now.
All right, Casey. This time with a 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Stewart in motion. Oh, little trickeration. And a great open field tackle there. And what do we got going on here? The little conference there on the sideline. You see something there, Josh?
I did, and I saw a great tackle by Schroff in maintaining his assignment. It would have been easy to shift over to the left, but stayed on the backside and was able to wrap up Stewart.
But not before Stewart gains 9 more on that carry. It's going to be 2nd and a yard. Some sort of conference happening on the sideline, though. Let's see if we get some sort of official discussion here. Looks like no foul, whatever it was. Clock running, back to live action. And coming up at the end of the quarter, we will be joined by our new sideline reporter, El Camino High student Semele Espitia. So looking forward to hearing her report. As Casey back to throw, looking deep for Stewart, and just overshoots him a little bit. good coverage there, but Wildcats in a second and short take a shot down the field.
Yeah, Wildcats looking to push it vertically. Jaden Casey is getting a lot of time today from his front. One of the gaps that Oceanside has is as I mentioned before, Dylan Tuisette, who was their D-tackle nose guard that would just clog up the middle and penetrate. Oceanside looking for ways to fill that gap right now.
Actually, I was a little premature on that report. We'll hear from Semele just a little bit later, but we've got a special report at the end of the first quarter that we're looking forward to bringing you. As the swing pass there to Brown, still on his feet, gets it all the way down to the 7-yard line. That'll stop the clock with 32.1 seconds, and the Wildcats are driving.
Wildcats looking to push it in and take a 14-point lead over Oceanside heading into the first quarter.
And let's see if the Wildcats get off another play here before the end of the quarter. First and goal from the, we'll call it the 8-yard line. Casey with the give to Brown. That time he is slowed down and he's going to be thrown for a big loss. That'll be a loss of 6.
Now, that time on the play, number 58, Mason Biuchek. Talked to Coach Rodriguez before the game, and he said that he would be a standout player, and he's making plays despite not even being in the starting lineup.
All right, so that's going to do it for 1 quarter of play in the books. El Camino leads. All right, we are going to take a short break, and then we will come back with more right here from Herb Meyer Stadium on the campus of El Camino High School. You're watching high school football right here on KOCT.
Interfaith Community Services works to help people help themselves. Our newest project is the first year-round homeless shelter for men and women in North County. Once renovations are complete, this new shelter will house 45 men and women, each working to improve their lives and end their homelessness. Volunteers and donations are needed. All gifts will be matched dollar for dollar. Please visit our website to learn how you can help our neighbors in need.
Do it later, okay. Just let me know. All right. Yeah, sorry.
Maybe in the third.
We didn't time it up right. All right, here we go. Second quarter underway. As they switch sides here, have to go the length of the field to switch sides since El Camino is driving. We have got a second and goal from the 11. And that's Stewart again. Short gain, that's going to bring up a third and goal from the 10.
Stewart looking to take it around the edge. On the tackle that time was Jonathan Sengi, a converted defensive end who started there at the beginning of the year, now finds himself starting at middle linebacker for the Pirates. Just as his uncle did a couple of years ago, Matt Sengi.
Yep. Called that name plenty of times back in the day. Third and goal for the Wildcats. Casey again in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers left, 1 split right, Brown in the backfield. Short drop looking for that slant again, and this time tipped and nearly intercepted. They flipped the look there. They wanted that slant over the left side this time, and same result, ball tipped. That could have been intercepted.
Yeah, the fake to Brown to kind of bring the linebackers up, but Michael Lennon stayed in his spot and was able to get a tipped ball on that play. A lot of family connections on this Oceanside team, so I just mentioned Matt Sengi. Lennon is actually the nephew of Fred Sovai, who was a former Oceanside outside linebacker for the Pirates.
All right, this brings out the field goal unit for El Camino. Kick is on the way. That one is hammered, and it is good. So the Wildcats extend their lead. It's 10-0. Josh, your thoughts after the first 13 minutes of football.
My thoughts are that the Wildcats are leading by 10-0, and if you would have told Jerry Ralph that they will be leading at 10-0 after the first quarter, then he'd be happy about that. And I think what they're going to continue to do is look for ways to get around the ball and offset that with around the ends to Stewart. Utilizing Jaden Casey to send it downfield to kind of throw them off balance, but really pushing the ball to Brown and Stewart to get the victory today.
All right, so El Camino set to kick it away again. They've been absolutely dominant. 10-0 lead, rivalry game, city championship. Pirates need to start dialing up some answers here and quick. 10-0 is certainly not insurmountable by any means, but playing at El Camino Stadium makes the task a little bit tougher. Enthusiastic crowd tonight cheering on the Wildcats, and that's going to be an offsides against the Wildcats on the kickoff on the far side. Somebody got a little bit of an early jump there, so we'll push it back 5 yards.
Yeah, an enthusiastic crowd for El Camino. Oceanside stands are packed as well. I love seeing this at high school football games. And so if you're enjoying the broadcast at home, thank you. But if you're not here, you're definitely missing out because this is a nice environment to be a part of. I talked to Coach Jerry Ralph coming into the game, and what he said that there was over 200 people from the El Camino High School community that helped to really beautify this stadium and pulling the weeds, planting trees, and it definitely looks like a changed stadium from the last time that I've been here.
Yeah, it's very nice. Nice job all the way around. And the field turf looking good. Nice presentation here by El Camino. Kick is on the way. And Garcia is going to take that, of course. That gets into the end zone, another touchback. That's 3 for 3 on touchbacks tonight. El Camino doing the job on special teams. Oceanside will start at the 20. And I didn't mean to shortchange something there, Josh, and my apologies. We have a special tribute to Pulu Pumele. We will try and cue that up later, but fumble by Art Root on that one, so we will try that again later on.
Speaking of Jerry Ralph, this is his 5th coaching position in San Diego County as a head coach, and really is looking to make Oceanside the city of football in the state of California.
All right, so Schuffer leading his Pirates, 1st and 10 from the 20. Inside handoff there, not much. Another hair tackle as the ball carrier number 34 there is Tevin Meadows. 5'7", 175-pound senior running back for the Pirates.
And Tevin will rotate with Bernard. So Tevin is more of their scat back, quick back. Bernard will be the between the lines person and will really push it up the gut.
2nd and 8. Little crease and a nice second effort there. Meadows again. And he gets it out to the, we'll call it 26.5-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd and a long yard.
Meadows is shifty back. There really wasn't a lot of room there, but able to move the ball just a little bit to make it a 3rd and short.
Another inside give to Meadows. Nice 2nd and 3rd effort, and he barrels his way for a 1st down. Pirates finally get on the board with their first down of the game.
Their first down, and they got to feel good about that. They went with the jumbo set that time, bringing in the tight end set. Jordan Duson leading the way with that block. Looks like they're staying in the jumbo formation. 2 tights.
Schuffer rolls to his right. He's looking long. He's got a receiver deep, but does not see him. Little frustration there as he had a wide receiver streaking down the right sideline, but Schuffer had some pressure and could not see him. Pass falls incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Pirates.
Yeah, pressure coming from the outside from Rocky Katawanga, as we said before coming into this game. We're going to hear his name a lot. They'll put him at the DN position. They'll put him at the linebacker position. You'll also see him at wide receiver tonight.
Versatile.
Rare combo, DN and wide receiver.
Yep.
I actually remember seeing that combo here at El Camino last time we did a game in Ryan Enna.
That's right.
And where he was playing DN and wide receiver for Coach Pulu Pumele.
Good look there at Schuffer. Fakes the handoff, rolls right, looking deep, airs it out, and he's got a receiver wide open, and he's got him! Is that Azizi Hearn with the catch there? Is that number 20?
You know, that 20 and 28 look the same out there, and they're both structured
sure
the same way.
The uniforms, it's number 20, that's Hearn. And that's a long completion for the Pirates, and all of a sudden, Oceanside is in business. And El Camino wants to talk it over. They call the timeout there to regroup on defense. Definitely caught looking in the backfield there, and Hearn was all alone, and Schuffer delivers a strike.
Yeah, great placement on the ball for Schuffer. I actually saw Jordan Duson open in the flats and was wondering why he wasn't going there, but for good reason. Finds his target down the field for a huge gain.
My guess is Hearn was his first read, and the first read was wide open. So Schuffer, great footwork there, plants, throws a strike. All of a sudden, the Pirates are in business. El Camino wants to talk about it. Wildcats have the 10-0 lead. We are here, just still 9 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Art Root, Josh Naliai, our entire KOCT team. We also want to thank the generous support of the Oceanside Unified School District's Board of Education. Mike Blessing, the president. Oh, we've got to hold off on those thank yous as we're going to take a look at this play again, Josh. As Schuffer plants his feet and airs it out deep. All right, we're back to live action now. Schuffer this time rolls to his left and had Girardi open, but the pass falls incomplete. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Schuffer feeling some pressure that time from Vose across the edge. Has tried to connect with Girardi a couple of times today and has been unsuccessful in that manner. You'll see him continue to go there as Girardi is their leading receiver this year.
And he's a matchup nightmare with all of his size, and El Camino's corners run on the smaller side.
Yeah, El Camino's corners checking in at 5'7" and 5'11".
Josh Garcia split left for the Pirates. Casey Schuffer longer cadence this time. The give to Meadows, finds a crease and gets it down to the 3. And a nice pickup there for Meadows, who's showing some flashes of brilliance here on this series.
Meadows showed some great vision on that. Looked like he was going to go outside, but then seen a hole up the middle and took it for a good gain. A 7-yard, 8-yard gain.
That's going to bring up a 3rd and short here. Can't tell if they're in a goal. They're in a 3rd and goal situation, I believe. And the give to Meadows. He bounces it, and I think he stopped just a little bit short. Tripped up, and it looks like they're going to show his forward progress stopped down at about the half-yard line. So it's a 3rd and short. They're going to give him the first down? Okay, that was a first down. So now it is 1st and goal on the half-yard line for the Pirates.
4 downs to push it in. See if they're successful with this one.
We saw this last week with the Chargers, too.
We did.
And Schuffer's going to keep it, and he has stood up. Did he get it in?
No hands
No
up
signal yet. Really delayed call as he's still going. They're going to rule his forward progress down, and yes, no gain there. Still on the half-yard line, Josh.
You know, they're looking to take advantage of those 300-pound linemen and trying to push it right up the gut. Max Schufer, one of the things that they mentioned about him is his strength. He's a strong quarterback, former defensive end, trying to get pushed there.
All right, so 2nd and goal for the Pirates, trying to get on the board, trailing 10-0 here in the city championship battle. Garcia in motion, and they give us to Garcia. Nice cutback, and he scores. Touchdown, Pirates.
taking a play out of the Wildcats book and getting their slots involved in the running game. Looking at that Oceanside crowd getting hyped up. They're on their feet over there, smoke blowing throughout the stands, and they're excited about that touchdown.
Loud and enthusiastic supporters there for the Pirates, making that really long drive across town here to catch the action here at Herb Meyer Stadium on the campus of El Camino High School. Pirates are on the board, 10-6, extra point pending here by Girardi. Good snap, good hold, kick is on the way, and it is drilled and good. 10-7. Pirates chip away at that deficit. El Camino, if you asked anybody on the El Camino side, halfway through the second quarter, you'll have a 10-7 lead, they say, we'll take it.
And I'm sure they'll keep it at this point. They're looking to build upon that. Chris Brown, Wayne Stewart, look for doses of those two as we jump on up into it. But a huge confidence booster for the Pirates getting into the end zone on that play.
Girardi counting his guys, and we want to thank you to the people that we counted on to make this broadcast happen tonight. The Oceanside Unified School District Board of Education, Mike Blessing, the president, Dr. Adrienne Hakes, the vice president, Robert Camo Gleesberg, the clerk of the board, Ann Corwin is a member, and Emily Ortiz Wickman, a member. Also from the Oceanside Unified School District, Dr. Dwayne Coleman, superintendent, Lisa Contreras, director of communications, Sharon Strong, who's a teacher here at El Camino, Jerry Ralph, the head coach at El Camino, and Dave Rodriguez, head coach at Oceanside. Thanks to everybody for making this broadcast happen tonight. And a touchback for Girardi. El Camino will take over at their own 20. 7-11 remaining here in the second quarter.
Girardi has a great leg, and you read off Sharon from El Camino. We were connecting before the game, and I think that she was at Oceanside High School at the same time in which I was there back a long time ago. But good to connect with her. She's the one that is helping us to produce the sideline reporter that will making her debut today.
Speaking of your experience a long time ago, it wasn't that long ago, but I want to talk about that a little bit, Josh, as Casey brings his guys to the line. But when we get a chance, I want you to tell us a little bit about what this city championship game meant to you as a player, but we'll get to that in a minute. As the give there is to Brown, bouncing, still on his feet, stiff arm, and he is corralled. Gang tackled there by 4 Pirates in the backfield. Brown's had a lot of room to run tonight, but nowhere to run there.
Yeah, nowhere on that play. I would still give it to Brown. I would continue to give it to Brown because eventually he's going to pop for a big one. He'll continue to move the chains. Speaking of this game, though, Matt, it's something that everybody looks forward to as a football player within this community. We see each other on a pretty frequent basis, and we'll run across each other, and we'll remember the games. We actually talked about the 2010 game this morning when we were at the gym, and so it's a huge game. Everybody looks forward to it, always circled on the calendar.
All right, that's going to bring up 2nd and 15 for the Wildcats. Casey, short drop, pressure, and he is drilled. They call that incomplete, and he is walloped on the play. Is that Girardi in the backfield?
Yeah, pressure coming from the backside from Jake Girardi. But Jaden Casey showing how strong he is, how tough he is, able to just jump right up after being hit. Girardi gave him a pretty solid hit to the backside.
Blindside hit there. Big pressure by Girardi. That's something that El Camino is going to have to clean up tonight. He got a free release, a clean look, and Casey was lucky to get that ball away and it not be a fumble. So 3rd and long situation, a rarity for the Wildcats tonight. They lead 10-7, 6:17 remaining here in the first half. Draw to Brown, spin. He's going to get a couple of those yards back. Probably a smart call there, play the field position game, but El Camino is going to have to kick it away.
Yeah, Oceanside came out in a pass coverage, like a cover 3 on that play, and Brown looking to cut it back up the middle. Just looking at Brown, he's like a young Adrian Peterson to me.
And that's a great call, Josh. He has that kind of body look there. So he's been running like him from time to time as well tonight too. Kick is on the way. Great pressure, but an outstanding boot. Garcia's going to let that go out of bounds. Actually angled it. Good kick, but probably angled it more than he wanted to. It's going to go out of bounds near midfield. No return, but Oceanside's going to get great field position.
Oceanside is starting off a good field position. I'm curious to see the running back that they bring back into the game. Tevin Meadows did not start the game, but was definitely making progress, moving the chains, getting little spurts of 8, 9 yards, moving up on down the field. Maybe focusing Jake Bernard more on the defensive end. So look at who comes out at that running back position, which is Jake Bernard.
All right, Sheffer and the Pirates back to the line. Bang it inside there down to the 39-yard line. That's Jacob Bernard on the carry. Gets good first down yardage. Call it gain of 6. Bring up 2nd and 4 for the Pirates.
Yeah, so that time Jake Bernard just really followed Donovan Laie on that as he pulled. You mentioned before, Donovan Laie, a huge recruit, has actually already been offered by Ohio State.
Oh, wow.
To play football for them in 2 years. He's only a junior.
Coach Meyer doing some cherry picking out here. And Sheffer looking deep and again looking for Girardi, and he's bracketed there. Good coverage. You can tell Wildcats have made it a point of emphasis to try and get as good a coverage on Girardi as they can, and so far mission accomplished.
Yeah, 2 guys on Girardi that time with Parsons and Stewart on the coverage. You know, Stewart also serves as their receiver, which we've seen him earlier today getting runs. And so if there's a ball in there, he's going up to get it.
All right, this is going to bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Pirates. They are at the El Camino 39-yard line. Sheffer's piled up big numbers this season, one of the leading passers in the county, but other than the one big hitter tonight, not a whole lot. And that time he is corralled and sacked. Number 49 for El Camino meets him in the backfield. That's Oman Hernandez, 5'10", 185 pounds. He played a lot bigger on that play right there.
Oman Hernandez keeping containment on the outside, able to take down the big Shuffer, who comes in at 6'4", 210. And when you compare him to Oman Henderson, 5'11", 185, a little bit of a size difference, but did not let that get in the way of him that time, able to bring down the big quarterback.
Hernandez looking like Joey Bosa there on the pursuit. Brings him down, and we're going to get a timeout here. So
I'm sure Hernandez came to two-a-days. I'm sure Hernandez came to two-a-days. Bosa sitting out of the two-a-days, but proved to be a big-time player, has been making a lot of plays for the Chargers. And you'll see Bosa and Oman Hernandez putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. $7-10 as we look at 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter. El Camino looking to maintain this lead as they head into the half.
All righty, here we go. Back to live action now. Both teams talking it over.
Swiss Army knife, back to punt.
That's right. Oh, and look at this, a little trick formation here for the Pirates. And El Camino wants to get a timeout to talk about it.
You know, he mentioned a jack of all trades. I'm not sure if Jake Girardi will be able to push it down the ball field. Wildcats talking it over right now, trying to strategize on what they think the Pirates might do, coming out in a different set that time. Maybe give off the perception that Jake Girardi might be looking to throw it to one of those to the right. But we'll see what they've strategized here.
All right, so another conference complete. Pirates bring it back to the line to punt in a more conventional look here. And Girardi gets the kick away. Good punt. And that is going to be, almost down at the 1, but just rolls into the end zone. Pirates going to kick themselves for a missed opportunity there. That could have pinned El Camino in the shadow of their own goalposts.
That would have been great placement. And one of the reasons why El Camino might have been thrown off, because one of the upbacks on that play was Max Schuffer, their quarterback. So trickery could have happened that time. Who better to throw the ball than their starting quarterback? Coming onto the field is Jaden Casey. Coming out in the shotgun set with Chris Brown.
All right, first down give there, and it's Brown in that familiar role of workhorse. Give him 9 yards. That brings him to 54 for the night on 10 carries. It'll be a 2nd and short for the Wildcats.
Looks like they're going back to their original plan. Heavy dosage of Brown, just eating away at the clock, trying to tire down this Oceanside defense, which would help them as they go both ways and support their own defense.
2nd and short. And the give there to Stewart, looking to get outside, and a great open field tackle there. Number 32 on the stop for the Pirates. That's Armand Fasili, 5'8", 160-pound junior. Nice tackle there, Josh.
Armand Fasili sticking to his assignment that time. You know, his uncle, I keep mentioning genealogy, his uncle was Absalom Fasili, who was a middle linebacker for the Pirates not too long ago.
Football is family here in Oceanside for both teams.
It is family. It's big. Every time we have a barbecue, this is what we always come back to talk about.
I can't imagine that grocery bill for those barbecues.
Costco trips.
That is running into 4 digits right there, easy. Casey with the pump fake, looking and in and out of the hands of his receiver. Essentially quadruple covered there. He was cramming it into a really tight window. That was Sean Ward, the intended receiver, 6'1", 170-pound wide receiver. Pass falls incomplete, but that would have been a very precise hookup, but it falls incomplete.
Yeah, Casey trying to thread the needle on that time. 3 defenders right around him. Casey does have a good arm. He does have a lot of great receivers too. I might consider taking a look in the other direction when you have 3 defenders on 1 receiver.
That'll bring up 4th down, and the punting unit comes out for the Wildcats. Garcia back to receive, and there's going to be a flag there. That could be a delay of game. Actually, Oceanside's body language is saying it's against them as they're walking that direction as well. This could be really costly. This could be enough for a 1st down.
That is costly.
And it is indeed. That's a 1st down for the Wildcats as they come off the field. Special teams unit comes off clapping. Offense will stay on the field, and that's a costly mistake for the Pirates.
And it looked like that was Azizi Hearn that time that might have jumped off sides.
And look at the lights there from the Oceanside faithful on the far side. That is a great shot. And the give is to Stewart around left end. Barrels and stumbles his way forward for a gain of maybe a couple. Call it 2nd and 8 from the 32. Clock running, 2:12 remaining here in the 1st half.
Yeah, not sure what that is going on, but it looks like all of the Oceanside stands have their phones on with lights on, hoping to generate something out of this defense after that botched 4th down play.
Give is to Brown. He's got some room, spins, breaks a tackle, gets it down to the 40-yard line. Close to 1st down yardage.
No, on that,
call it 3rd down and maybe the length of a football.
On that play on initial contact, they try to take down Brown up top, which is not going to work. This man has a massive lower body, and if you want to take him down, you're either going to have to wrap and roll or hit him low.
Clock running, 1:22, high snap, Casey handles it, give to Brown. Think forward progress is going to give him the 1st down. Yes, you see the official on the far side come in That's a first down, Wildcats. But now timeouts are a situation. Both sides have burned a couple, so I don't know if El Camino has any clock stops left. Do stop the clock to move the chains, but all right, now starts it up again. 1:15 and counting here in the second quarter. Wildcats lead 10-7. High snap. Casey has to keep it. That was going to be an inside give to Brown, but bad snap and a little bit of trouble. Casey just had to protect the football.
Yeah, he protected the football on that time, and it's too bad because El Camino actually got a good push on that play, and giving it to Brown usually leads to a big chunk of yards. And with the offensive line on par on that one, that could have been big for El Camino.
All right, so it looks like Wildcats not in a big hurry to get this next play off. We're inside 40 seconds. Casey looking long, and that time has thrown away. That could be a grounding call. And late flag comes in. Don't know if that's going to be ground or if that's going to be a hold.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. 56.
And it's the opposite
15-yard penalty
altogether. It's a
automatic
roughing
first
the
down.
passer call against Oceanside. Critical, costly penalty goes against the Pirates. Keeps the Wildcats in business. They get the automatic first down, a big hunk of yardage, and still a chance to maybe put some points on the board here going in.
That's an interesting call on that play. I've seen a lot of pressure being put on that time by Isaac Kaleopa Tuisete. Look at the band that time right now coming onto the field, but Isaiah got a lot of pressure that time. It looked like his hit was on time. But the refs, another crucial penalty for Oceanside.
That's going to move the ball down to the Pirates' 42-yard line. 28.8 seconds. Josh, put on your offensive coordinator hat here. What are you trying to do in these last 28 seconds?
On these last 28 seconds, I'm going to give the ball to Brown one more time, and then on the next play, I'm going to fake it to him and go up top vertical.
All right.
Looks like they're going to it the first time.
Well, that time El Camino tried to stretch the defense, and Oceanside too much pressure. They get the sack. Clock stops now with 20.2 seconds remaining. Lost back to the 48-yard line. So now decision time for both teams. El Camino might want to take another shot down the field, maybe take a shot down to the sideline.
Definitely take another shot again. Wayne Stewart was open on the seam on that one, and if they would have got the ball to him, would have been another 6 on the board for the Wildcats. Jaden Casey, really a seasoned passer, despite being only a junior, has played quarterback since Pop Warner and actually played on the same team as Chris Brown all the way through. So there's great chemistry with those two on the offensive front. His favorite receiver is Stewart, which it looks like they were planning on going to him on that play. I think that won't be too far off from what they're going to do on this next play.
That's right. Okay, nice. Another long, full timeout here for both squads as they regroup. City Championship game. So thrilled to bring it to you live on KOCT. And there's Coach Ralph there on the sideline for the Wildcats, talking to his charges.
You know, I'm just really impressed with Coach Ralph. I talked to him this past weekend, and he's really a football junkie, and was working on an app that would allow coaches to communicate with the teachers in the classroom to maintain progress of the players. Look at that. One of the things that he did at Hoover was take a team that had a lot of players. I think 40% of the players were ineligible when he first got there, and really raised that up. So I'm a huge fan of Jerry Ralph and what he's doing.
That's an innovator, and that's a guy who cares about his kids. So way to go, Coach Ralph. As Casey looking long, and he's going to check it down. Pass is complete there to Cameron Bullock. Gets it down to the 31. Wildcats are going to have to hurry to the line and spike this. They do. Clock running again, and Casey spikes it with 9.3 left. But that was a big play. They are now in range probably for at least one shot at the end zone, or maybe even after that, if it's unsuccessful, a long field goal try.
Yeah, depending on how long they take for the play to develop, they may have a chance to go for 2. I might take a 10 out and try to get out of bounds to come up with 2 passing plays to decrease the amount of space that they need to make up.
Big personnel group switch here, Josh. What do you see here?
Huge.
Oh, they're going to bring out the field goal. You know, that's exactly what they're doing. Okay, taking no chances. This will be a 48-yard try. It's a pretty healthy kick for a high school kicker. It's a good snap, good hold. Kick is on the way. It's a low line drive and just short. Kick is no good. So with 3.1 seconds remaining here in the first half, El Camino leads 10-7, but a missed opportunity there. Although a 48-yarder by no means is a high percentage kick for a high school kicker.
You know, looking to get points on the board. Very far kick. Might have thought about putting it up in the air one last time to give this offense a chance to get on the board with 6 going into the half. You never know what changes Oceanside is going to make, and if El Camino is going to be able to keep up this momentum coming back from the half.
All right, so if you're Oceanside, do you just take the knee here and hightail it to the locker room with a 3-point deficit, regroup for the second half?
That would be my strategy at this point. Take a knee, decrease the amount of opportunity for turnovers that could happen. You don't want them to put any points on the board either.
That's right.
So my suggestion would be to take a knee here. We'll see what Dave Rodriguez does.
All right, just a reminder that this game will also be made available next week as video on demand via KOCT.org and replayed extensively on KOCT throughout the month of November. As Schuffer brings his charges to the line, actually going to take a shot. Rolls right, looking long, and trouble, and he is dropped in the backfield. In on the sack, that's 21 and 48. That's Martin Bonacci and Jacob Vos on the sack for El Camino. They will go into the locker room elated with a 10-7 lead here in the city championship game.
Yeah, at 10-7, they are definitely excited to be going in the locker room with this lead, and they have the tools to keep this lead with Chris Brown. And if that gets clogged up, you've seen that Jaden Casey is able to stretch the field and take advantage of some of the mismatches. When I came into the game, looking at the 2 cornerbacks, I thought that they would be able to lock up any receivers that came their way. But Stewart and Cameron Bullock able to come up with some plays early in the first half to support the movement that's been happening on the ground from Brown and also through Parsons, his backup running back.
Yeah, and Jake Girardi's really been bottled up so far in this contest. So we'll see what the coaches draw up for the second half to get him more involved. And we are getting ready to throw it down to our sideline reporter here. All right, we're going to send it down to Semele Espitia in just a moment.
Hi, we're
She's
here
got
with
Coach Rodriguez on the sideline.
Here at El Camino High School. Coach Rodriguez, your team is such a powerhouse team. Now, what does it feel like to have, found such a worthy opponent? What are your plans for the second half of the game?
Well, we got to play better. Defense has found its groove. We're not making enough mistakes. We're making too many mistakes, and we got to fix what we do and just be us. And because we feel the only team that can beat us, and right now we're beating us.
Okay. And that touchdown, what did that feel like?
We got to do more of that. We got to figure out how to get our defense off the field, and we got to put ourselves in the end zone. But that takes execution on our end.
That's great. All right, I look forward to seeing that. And now we cut to a break.
Watch Faith in the Common Good on KOCT. Faith in the Common Good is part of KOCT's North County Talks series. Hosted by Pastor T.S. Harris, Faith in the Common Good is a 30-minute talk show that addresses social issues from a faith-based perspective. Faith and the Common Good, only on KOCT, your community channel.
May God bless you with peace and joy.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
I'm wanted.
I'm wanted.
I'm wanted.
I'm wanted.
Volunteers wanted.
There's a place for everyone.
Nobody can do everything,
but everyone can do something. Your experiences and expertise can help to advise the council on various matters.
Whatever your interests are,
There is a place.
There is a place.
There is a place.
There's a place for you.
Apply today for one of the city's committees, board or commissions.
Whatever your interests are, there is a place for you.
for more information and applications, call the City Clerk Department at 760-435-3000 or visit the city's website.
Volunteers.
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 Volunteers are the heart of the community.
My name is Andrea Lee Greenberg. I walk for Autism Speaks because my son Tyler is the single most important person in my life. Walk Now for Autism Speaks raises awareness every time a city puts on a walk. It is a terrific way to come together as a community, to reach out to one another, to get the message out that these children and these adults are incredible human beings.
To find a walk near you, visit walknowforautismspeaks.org.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes twice a day. They have the time.
Tri-City Medical Center, a leader in advanced healthcare close to home.
By 2007, I'd completed 8 Ironman races, but a ruptured herniated disc caused me debilitating pain.
Kathleen McCartney, winner of the 1982 Ironman Triathlon World Championship, has conquered the event considered to be the most grueling single-day sporting competition in the world.
I performed a microdiscectomy on Kathleen. Her surgery was a success and she returned to feeling pain-free.
I was feeling good, but I stopped running. I didn't want to risk reliving all the pain I'd just been through.
Over time, that changed, and her focus turned to competing again.
I needed to rediscover my strength. With Dr. Lean's support, I started to train again for the event that I won 30 years earlier.
I worked with Kathleen to help her strengthen her core and make sure she remained injury-free. She turned her adversity into triumph.
Thank you, Tri-City Medical Center, for giving me my life back and for the incredible orthopedic work that you do.
Tri-City Medical Center, advanced healthcare for you.
All right, we are back. It's the halftime show here at Herb Myers Stadium on the campus of El Camino High School as the El Camino band takes the field. Tuba man, take a bow. We're going to see the El Camino High School marching band and pageantry presentation here for the halftime. One of the great traditions of high school sports and high school in general is marching band. And El Camino's got a great program in their own right, so.
You know a little something about marching bands, right?
I do indeed. My older boy is a freshman band for his high school unit, and couldn't be prouder because band is a great commitment, a lot of hard work. You got to be very technically sound. So all the respect in the world for these band kids. They do a great job. Good look there at the brass, the tubas. All these kids ready to do their job. Band season, lots of competitions. This is the thick of the season right now. They probably have a tournament tomorrow, so these kids work awfully hard. So we'll let them enjoy some FaceTime here on TV, right here on KOCT. It's the City Championship Art Route. Josh Naliai, Semele Espitia, and our entire KOCT team. So thrilled to renew our Friday night tradition of high school football live on KOCT, and we'll be bringing you high school basketball this season as well. Stay tuned for more details as the band is getting ready to start their show.
talk to him and remind him of all the good memories.
I don't know if you can hear me, but remember when we were kids?
When they talk.
El Camino Marching Band, I'm sure, is tuning up to be ready for their tournament season, which is already underway. Great job by all the boys and girls on that team. So nice job, El Camino Band. All right. So we are going to take a short break. When we come back, we will have our sideline reporter talking to Oceanside's head coach, and then we will bring you the second half action. You are watching high school football, the rivalry game, the city championship, right here on KOCT.
North County is home to thousands of people, all with places to go. Traveling has never been easier thanks to the North County Transit District. With technology getting more advanced, North County residents can expect public transportation to get an upgrade as well. Planning your trips has never been easier. On your computer, you can now access all routes through Google Maps. Let's say you're looking to travel to the Oceanside Pier from Miracosta College. Just put in the details and click on the transit icon at the top of the page. Available is a list with up-to-date information on the current Breeze and Sprinter routes. Just click on the one you prefer and the route information is displayed. Not at a computer? No problem. This service is fully available on your mobile device as well. Just open up the Google Maps app, put in your destination, select transit, and you're on your way. All information is completely up to date, so you'll never miss your bus or train. These are just some additional steps that are being taken to streamline your travel here in North County. Go to gonctd.com or visit your local transit center for more information. Give them a call at 760-966-6500. Safe travels, North County.
This is Zoe. She's 1, and she's running for president, potentially in 2064. Because if she's kept safe and eats well, has the opportunity to learn and grow, if she has help getting ahead and support along the way, then Zoe could be president. Like her hero, Ababam Binkin. Help kids like Zoe dream big. The Y for early learning, childcare, mentorship, and more. For a better us. Donate to the Y at zoeforpresident.net.
Use motor oil or cocktail or toxins. Dispose carefully, you got lots of options. Never the trash, the drain, or the ground. That's insane and it ain't safe and sound. Oceanside is a zero waste city. Oceanside is a zero waste city. Oceanside is a zero waste city. Oceanside is a zero waste city.
Recycle used oil and filters at certified collection points in Oceanside. For locations, see greenoceanside.org.
All right, welcome back. Live football action right here on KOCT. It's the Pirates. Pirates are trailing El Camino here, 10-7. Art Root, Josh Naliai, the entire KOCT team. And we are just thrilled to bring you this broadcast. One half in the books of the rivalry game. Josh, sum it up for us after 24 minutes of football. Your take.
We got a great matchup here. We knew coming into the game, both teams had some great prospects in their lineup. Coming to the forefront for us, Chris Brown. Definitely giving him the ball, making things happen. And Oceanside unable to really put a stop to him. Really consistent marches down the field. But things started changing towards the end, in which they switched out of their initial defense, and they were starting to slow him down a little bit. I don't think you're ever going to stop that, man, but slowing him down is a good thing for Oceanside. Their offense also started clicking. Tevin Meadows came in, was making some shifty moves, working it down the field, and then they started finding some connections down the field, in which was not happening in the beginning of the half. I think they're looking for ways to connect to their receivers. They have a wealth of receivers that they have, and Schuffer will look to connect with them.
All right, looks like Coach Ralph is getting in position with our sideline reporter, Semele Espitia. So if we are let me know when we're ready for them as they get into position. You see, there they are. I'm going to throw it down to the sideline now.
Hi, Coach Ralph. Good to see you again. Tonight, the Wildcats are literally on fire with that touchdown. What kind of pep talk did you give them today to prepare?
Well, it's all about our team playing with heart tonight. I really think our seniors deserve this game more than any group I've ever seen. They've been through a lot of adversity, and they love this. They love the school, the program, and I hope tonight's the night for them.
Awesome. That's true.
Yes.
Now, do you believe it is more nerve-wracking to play a crosstown game than it is
No, it's
a
not
regular
nerve-wracking.
game?
It is exciting. That's why we coach. That's why we play. Playing games like this, you don't want to play a team that's not very good. Play a great team like Oceanside. And Oceanside High School, El Camino High School, we're the best high school tandem in the nation. We're going to prove that.
Okay.
Yes.
So, do you have anything special planned for the second half?
Well, I got a kickoff I got to get to.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Coach
we got
Ralph.
to take this first drive and do a great job. That's our plan. Okay.
All right. Thank you,
Thank
Coach
you.
Ralph. And back to you, Art.
Hey, thanks, Emily. Thanks, Coach Ralph. Good report there. And Coach Ralph, Josh, he was talking about how this game is so meaningful, especially to the seniors. And again, just second half trying to maintain that intensity and try and finish the job here for the seniors for El Camino as they cling to that 3-point lead.
Yeah, really a junior-led team right now, trying to close out the season for these seniors. One of the things that was mentioned to me was that all of the teams from Division I actually make it into the playoffs. And so, which is a new structure in which they have Division I and then an open division.
Right.
And everybody within that division ends up making it to the playoffs. So by no means is this their last game. Looking to make momentum as they transition into playoff mode, which will be coming up right around the corner.
Absolutely, but again, as a city championship game, this always being traditionally the last game of the season, really, both teams have postseason tickets punched, but this is something special, something a little bit more meaningful when it's the crosstown rivalry. So emotions and intensity run high for this game, and it actually puts both teams in a proper frame of mind for the playoffs as well. As Girardi gets set to boot it away here to start the second half. Kick is a Squibber line drive taken at the 3. Good return to the 20, 25, 30, 33, down to the 34-yard line. Nifty run back there by Bullock. Finds a little daylight, and he scurries his way to the 34. We'll call it the 33, gain of 32 on the kick return, and El Camino with decent field position here to start the second half.
Yeah, Cameron Bullock, who we talked about earlier, not huge in size, but real shifty. Kind of looks a little bit like Sproles, like a short, low-gravity player, able to shift and move around.
All right, so Casey has got Brown in the backfield, a familiar look as Stewart goes into motion. Then the give is to Brown. Looking to bounce it, he does, gets to the edge. That time Girardi slowed him down. Much better contained defense there on the far side for the Pirates.
Good containment. Not a lot of yards at that time for Chris Brown, but if you were to see in the backfield that lethal stiff arm that he put onto that Oceanside defender, he can do a lot of things out the backfield. If you give him some space, which we did not have right there, pretty powerful.
He turned a loss of 4 into a no gain. So a great individual effort by Brown and by Girardi and his Oceanside mates on defense. 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats. Casey short drop. This time he's got the slant and Bullock drops it. And he will be kicking himself because he was wide open at the 48.
Jaden Casey placed that right where it needed to be, and we saw some of those mistakes happen last week against Carlsbad, where the receivers were wide open. Casey placed the ball well within reach of the receivers, and just unable to come up with the ball and continue to make momentum. Brings up a 3rd and long situation for the Wildcats.
Casey goes to the sideline now, back in the huddle to relay the play to his teammates. 3rd and 10 situation. This could be a big stop for the Pirates as they try to wrest some momentum from the Wildcats here. Wildcats lead 10-7. Looks like Brown and Casey communicating there. Maybe change of the play. Stewart in motion right. And they're going to get it to Bullock, and that pass falls incomplete. And all of a sudden, it's El Camino that looks a little tentative and rusty to start the second half.
It looks like Oceanside made some adjustments, coming back in, steered away from that 4-4, 8 people in the box, and are making some plays out there. You know, one of the things about this game in that they see each other is that football has kind of come to a year-round sport in which they're playing passing leagues all the way around the year. And some of these people play together on passing league teams despite not being on the same high school team and such things as the 7-6L athletes program that is out there.
Line drive kick. Garcia's going to field it over the shoulder catch. Retreats a little bit, now turns it up. He's got a little bit of room, but then is brought down. Nice tackle there. That is Martin Bonacci. We've seen him make a couple of tackles here on special teams for El Camino. Pirates will take over 1st and 10 from their own 30.
Yeah, Jerry Ralph mentioned that Bonacci is 1 year away from his breakout year, and he's a junior this year, and he's really learning a lot and advancing throughout the season, but they're expecting big things from him next year. Dangerous play that time by Josh Garcia. It almost went over his head. He put his arms up and got it, but there were 3 Wildcat defenders right there ready to take the ball.
Good ball skills, yeah, but that is high risk, that's for sure. And the give there. Nifty little cut makes a couple guys miss. That is Jake Bernard. Oh, El Camino saying the ball came out, and they're saying it's their football. Let's see what the ruling is.
Oceanside thinking he was down.
Timeout. Helmet off of the defense. Ruling on the field. His progress was stopped. 2nd down.
All right, so Oceanside will keep it. Was down before the ball squirted out. Call it a gain of 2.5. Call it 2nd and a long 7 for the Pirates. Just underway here in the second half. Art Root, Josh Naliai, the entire KOCT team. We thank you for tuning in tonight, and catch us on replays as well throughout the month. And there's a wide open receiver to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Walk it in, Oceanside. Julian Hicks. 67 yards on that completion. The long touchdown bomb. And Oceanside takes their first lead of the ball game.
Oceanside taking big chunks on that play, looking to go deep here early on, moving it vertically down the field. Great placement on the ball by Max Schuffer as he connected with Julian Hicks on that play.
Big momentum swing there for the Pirates. They took the shot downfield, and he couldn't have been any more wide open. Girardi's kick on the way. It is good. Wildcats need to be careful. Let this freight train get running. The Pirates get going. We know they can move it up and down the field with a little bit of momentum and a little bit of confidence. Appears they've gotten a little bit of swagger back after that big connection. They have their first lead tonight, 14-10 here in the city championship game.
Yeah, Oceanside's a team that's going to try and take big chunks out of the field. You know, I wouldn't steer away from the game plan if I was El Camino. Just keep chipping away at that, eating the clock, putting points on the board, staying with Brown would be the best strategy.
Quick scores like that, though, do kind of feel like a punch to the gut. They really sap your momentum quickly. So El Camino's, like you said, Josh, going to want to play a little ball control, gain a couple of first downs here, slow some things down, because this plays right into Oceanside's hands with big chunks of yardage, gash you a little bit. We'll see how the Wildcats respond, but Oceanside's got to be feeling pretty good about things right now as Girardi gets ready to boot it away. 9:58 remaining here in the third. Quick touchdown for Oceanside. They lead 14-10. Good kick. That's going to be almost through the back of the end zone. And the touchback. Kickers have done their job tonight for both sides.
Now, both sides, the kickers are really doing good, placing it into the end zone. That's a great weapon to have to start them on the 20-yard line. Puts the defense in a good position.
Strike up the band.
Quick glimpse at the cheerleaders. Shout out to the Badillo family who has a cheerleader down there going on right now.
You should run for mayor.
Is that right?
You know everybody in this town. In an election year, how appropriate. All right, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Casey rolls right. Had Stewart there on the sideline again, trying to fit that into a tight window. Tell you, Casey's a confident thrower. He is not afraid to throw at, to most quarterbacks would look like a covered receiver, but Stewart had some room there, almost made the great catch.
Yeah, he's definitely confident, and the coaches said he's better in making decisions. He's one of those guys that I talk about that plays year-round. Is the quarterback for the 760 Athletes program, and they're going to tournaments left and right in the off seasons, and it's showing here today.
And that's something with the modern prep game where these year-round programs, especially these passing leagues, it's so sophisticated now. I mean, these offenses are really kind of light years ahead of what stuff was even 10, 15 years ago because everybody runs it now. As, again, the quick hitter there, the slant is complete. Receiver bringing it in there is Christian Betts, 6'2", 165. He's a senior, one of the senior leaders on this team. He makes the reception, and that's good for 8, third and a short 2 yards for the Wildcats.
You know, just going back to that passing league, some of the recruiters are using that as a tool to really look at a lot of talent at those 7-on-7 passing tournaments.
Give to Brown. A little stutter step, shoulder fake there, and boy, it's going to be close. I'm not sure he got the first down yardage, Josh. Good interior defense there.
It's going to be really close. This is not 4-down territory.
That is going to bring up a 4th down and decision time for El Camino. It looks like they are going to kick it away. That's a big stop for Oceanside.
That's a huge stop. Definitely a confidence booster as Brown just came out steamrolling in the first half, and looks like they've done something, identified something to stop that in the game plan. Trickery.
On the fake.
Ooh.
And the gamble pays off for Coach Ralph and El Camino as they pick up the first down with a little special teams trickeration.
Yeah, they gave that ball to Rocky Katawanga. I talked to him before the game. He also plays receiver. Said he's willing to do whatever for this team to make them better. That time taking the snap at the up back, getting them the first down.
And that's got to be a thrill for any special teamer to get a chance to get a carry on a fake situation, because it's such a momentum changer or a momentum builder for a team. So you're making a real contribution in an unconventional way. So Katawanga with the first down for the Wildcats, and Casey going up the slot. Had a receiver open, could not connect. That was Betts again. Pass falls to the turf, incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, coming in, putting the pressure that time was Isaiah Kaleopa Tuisete, the one that got called for the late hit earlier. Looked like he had a clear shot, but was hesitant, reflecting upon what they had called him for earlier in the game.
Good look there at the El Camino huddle. Casey's operated, I think both quarterbacks have operated almost exclusively from the shotgun tonight. Brown flanks him in the backfield. Stewart in motion. Familiar sight there, and the give is to Brown. Little daylight, 2nd effort, 3rd effort, keeps churning those legs, and he's gonna gain about, we'll call it 6 yards. Brings up a 3rd and a manageable 4. I have Brown unofficially 13 carries for 67 yards tonight. Workmanlike. Had a couple of big carries early. They've been tougher yards the last 7 or 8 carries.
Yeah, he's continuing to move the change. That penalty is serving to be huge for, not the penalty, the conversion on the 4th down. Seems to take in a little bit of momentum out of that defense.
Keeping the clock running, giving El Camino's defense a break. And you see big Jake Girardi there at the right defensive end, and that's going to be a timeout, El Camino. They may have seen the same thing we could see up here. That was a pretty menacing look on defense that Oceanside was featuring, and El Camino didn't like the matchup. See Coach Ralph there in the huddle with his team. His 5th program. We talked about this a little bit earlier in the broadcast, Josh. Anytime a program hands you the keys, they trust you. 5 different programs have handed you the keys. You're obviously very well respected within the coaching community.
Yeah, he's definitely done some things right. His time at Santana actually set some passing records within the state of California. And then with St. Augustine, he took them to the championship game twice, and also took Hoover to the championship game the first time that they have ever been there.
And speaking of coaches, his counterpart Dave Rodriguez for Oceanside. No bigger shoes to fill, of course, than the shoes of the giant, the legendary John Carroll, who we now see on Friday nights on the PPR with Paul Rudy. But again, Rodriguez kept the tradition going last year, though, with another CIF title. So
I'd say he's filling those shoes pretty well.
Yep.
With the ring on his hand in his first year.
Casey hit as he throws, definitely affected the throw. Felt a lot of pressure in his face, shuffled to his left, got the throw off, but there was a deflection, or at least somebody hit either the ball or his arm. Pass goes incomplete, and that will bring out the punt unit again for El Camino. 4th and 4. I don't know if they're going to run another fake.
Now the pressure coming that time from the inside linebackers from Jake Bernard and Mr. Sengi himself, number 7, Jonathan Sengi. I'm sure Rocky wouldn't mind getting that snap to him again.
Oh,
fumble.
Fumble snap, and a great recovery there. Fos does all he can to get that kickoff. And Josh, I saw El Camino against Rancho Bernardo earlier this year, and there were a couple of special teams problems that were similar to that plagued the Wildcats in the game. So those could be crucial game-changing events, but Fos with a great recovery there to get the kickoff and averts the disaster.
Yeah, it definitely could have been worse. He pushed himself off of, I believe that was Jesus Gonzalez that had him wrapped up in the backfield. Also serves as a D tackle, Fos out there. Not sure if that's him or Oman Henderson, but we'll see him at a D tackle and a punter roll. A lot of interesting combos.
Yep. Absolutely nowhere to run there. Late flag comes in.
Play, personal foul, number 58.
Might be a personal foul.
It's 15 yards, second down.
Yeah, that's a costly foul there, no doubt about it.
I'm not sure what the call is. I might have seen an El Camino player kick an Oceanside player as he was getting up from the tackle. Not sure if that's what the call is, but if it is, that should lead to an ejection.
All right, so big penalty there, moves the ball all the way back down to the 30-yard line for Oceanside. And you see the cheer squad again. 2nd and 25 for the Pirates. Schuffer back to throw. He's got a wide open receiver and misses him. That was Puka Kaleopo Tuisee. Was the intended, how'd I do there, by the way, Josh?
You did great.
All right, thanks. Wide open there, and Schuffer probably wishes he had that throw again, so that'll bring up 3rd and 1,000,000 for the Pirates. 6:23 remaining here in the third. Pirates lead 14-10.
Yeah, Puka, the brother of Isaiah Kaleopa Tuisee, who plays D tackle and guard for the Pirates. Puka, one of their receivers that'll take it down the field for them. Has a pretty steep average, about 24.9 yards a catch. They're going to need those 25 yards right now.
Yes, they are. 24.9 would just about do it here. So, and looks like it's going to be 3rd and 30 as we get a
offense, number 12, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And we've got audio on our official there, so that's confirmed. That is a false start Illegal procedure call, back it up 5 yards, 3rd and 30 for the Pirates, going the wrong way.
And we know that the Pirates like to take out big chunks. This chunk gets bigger and bigger every play.
They've had 2 giant plays tonight. Can they dial up a third? Is Schuffer, and they're gonna bring it to the near side of the field. They're gonna get a big chunk back. Not all of it. They got about 20 of it back. As Tevin Meadows with the nifty little catch and run on the design play there. So that'll bring up a 4th, and we'll call it 9 from near midfield, 48-yard line. So now the field position game begins as Girardi drops into punt formation for the Pirates. Back to receive for El Camino is Garrett Hendren.
Saving the first down on that was Oman Henderson, which stuck to his reads and stayed with Tevin Meadows on that play.
Girardi gets off a high kick, angling it towards the far sideline. And that will roll down and be down at the 11-yard line. So net 41 on that, no return. Job well done by the special teams unit there for Oceanside. Pins El Camino. They have a long field here. 5:17 remaining here in the third. Art Root, Josh Naliai, the entire KOCT team. Thrilled to bring you the high school football game you've been waiting, well, we've been waiting 7 long years for.
7 years is a long time.
We're so glad to bring it back to you on KOCT. The generous support of the Oceanside Unified School District. We can't thank them enough. And it's just great to be back here at Herb Meyer Stadium on the campus of El Camino High School. Great football game tonight. 14-10, Pirates lead. El Camino. Stewart takes it around right end. Pinballing his way, still going down to the 20-yard line. Good first down pickup there of 8.
Yeah, great call taking it around the end that time for Stewart. We know that Oceanside has had some difficulties maintaining the edges. Stewart, you know, a threat at the running back position, also at the wide receiver position, but we haven't seen too many balls go his way today through the air.
Although he did have the score for El Camino on that nifty play call that got him the touchdown. So 2nd and short for the Wildcats. Low snap, again trouble. They're gonna have to just eat it, fall on it. And again, we've seen this with El Camino's second half turnover problems. They fell on it, they protected it, but that, I don't know, you think that maybe is a case of nerves, trying to do too much too fast?
It looked like there was a little bit of confusion on that play where he was looking to fake it to somebody, but then they actually ended up taking it out of his hand. So slight confusion there. Look for them to air it out here, maximizing Casey's arm.
Well, it brings up a 3rd and 7 situation now after the 5-yard loss there, almost 6-yard loss. So from a manageable down and distance, the 2nd is short. This brings up a 3rd and longer. 3 wide receivers flanked right, solo receiver left, Brown in the backfield. Pass too tall there. Intended receiver was Rocky Katoanga. And a 3 and out for the Pirates defense. El Camino's going to have to punt it away as we get a look there at some of the Oceanside special teamers.
The thing that I noticed on the field, though, is both these teams have size. I was looking at the Oceanside roster, you know, just on paper, I knew they were going to be big, but on the field, this El Camino team is pretty big as well.
Great look from our crew there. You get that low shot, you really see how big these kids are, and that's an outstanding booming punt. Garcia, trouble with it. He's going to have to fall on that, and it's still loose. El Camino falls on it at the 30-yard line, and that's a huge play for the Wildcats. Recovering that fumble there is Jagger Knopp, the junior, 5'11", 180 pounds, and that is a game changer right there for the Wildcats.
That is costly. We talked about this earlier, Art, in the previous punt where Josh Garcia went up and grabbed the ball. This time proves to be costly for the Pirates. Good field position for the Wildcats. Looking to take advantage, put some more points on the board against this Pirates D.
Yeah, Yeah, Garcia trying to make a play. He's a playmaker. He's got ball skills, but that time, ball was a little bit too slippery. Could not recover his own muff there, and El Camino in business, but a misfire there on first down, as Bullock was the intended receiver. And Casey, after being sharp early, has not been as effective on his last 3 or 4 throws.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's not looking as comfortable as he was early in the game. But we'll see if he can get his rhythm back here. Oceanside putting some pressure on him, forcing him to make some decisions, but he had Bullock in the flat that time.
Casey's got the gold bottom spikes there. Those are some pretty sweet kicks.
Yeah, Casey and Brown both got those gold spikes on there.
I guess you get to wear those when you're skill position guy, is that it? Down linemen don't get to wear those. Oh, trouble! Wow. Jumping the route there. That was
Micah Lennon.
Micah Lennon jumped the route. He diagnosed that from the second it was snapped. He made a beeline, read the quarterback, read the football, and that would have been a pick 6 if he could have come up with it clean, because he had a 5-yard head start.
Yeah, he had a tip earlier in the ball game. If he would have got his hands on that, we'd be looking at 20-10 right now.
All right, so a couple of misfires here on first and second down. That brings up a 3rd and 10 for the Wildcats, trying to regain some momentum here. They trail 14-10. Three wide receivers left. Tight formation on the right. Casey with pressure in his face finds Brown. He's going to be well short of first down yardage. Knocked out of bounds at the 26, and now decision time. Do you kick the field goal here? It is within their kicker's range. This would be a 43-yarder, but it looks like El Camino is going to go for it.
They're going to put the ball in the hands of Jaden Casey, see what he can do through the air. I would say if you're the Oceanside defense, to watch out for Stewart, Bullock, and Christian Betts on this play.
Critical 4th down play here for the Wildcats. Brown flanks Casey here. 3 wide receivers left. 1 to the near side. Casey short drop. He's got a receiver wide open, and that window is closed. Tell you what, that was a long throw to the far side of the field. Was open when the ball came out and was well covered by the time the ball got there. In on the coverage. That was Julian Hicks. Nice closing speed, broke that play up, and El Camino turns it over on downs.
Yeah, big play for the Oceanside team. Looking to capitalize on this. Julian Hicks, one of those big corners, coming in at 6'1", 180. That's pro size right there. Put a little bit of weight on that, and he's looking at some D1 scholarship offers and being successful at the next level.
All right, so Oceanside takes over on downs. 1st and 10 from their own 26. Garcia, they give it to him, trying to atone for the miscue earlier that ended up not hurting the Pirates. I'm sure the young man is relieved about that, and he goes off right tackle and gains, we'll call it 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 7. Garcia, all heart, 5'7", 165, very much in that Darren Sproles size mode. Real playmaker, has made a lot of big plays for this team this year.
I'm sure he's not going to make that mistake again. Punts over his head, keep the mitts down.
All right, give there off left tackle is Tevin Meadows. He barrels his way out to the 33. We'll call it 3rd and 3 for the Pirates. And now it's El Camino that wants to dial up a stop here. 1:27 remaining in the 3rd quarter. This 3rd quarter has breezed by. Not a lot of clock stops here.
Look for a draw play on this. Faking it down the field, going to Tevin Meadows right up the gut. Nope.
All right, Garcia wanted a little defensive holding there, but the pass falls incomplete. And El Camino does their job on defense, forces the Pirates into a punting situation with 1:04 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Pirates lead 14-10.
Both defenses stepping up right now. Really was. It's like they got a different up back. Max Schuffer was in at the up back earlier in the game. Don't see him out there right now.
Little confusion here. Let's see if they've got 11. They do. They got to get this play off in time. They do. Girardi back to kick. Wobbler takes an El Camino bounce, goes sideways and out of bounds at the 41. 26-yard punt there, not Girardi's best effort. And the Wildcats will get pretty good field position this time.
Girardi averages 36 yards a punt. For his kickoffs, 60 yards. That should get you a scholarship somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
You know, having a defensive end mentality in a kicker would be valuable for me. You know, going down and making some tackles.
There's a term for players like that. That's athlete with a capital A. The kid can do it all.
A new switch at the defensive end position. We see Max Schuffer in there, substituted in for Girardi.
Yep. All right, so the give there is to Brown. This time, Oceanside meets him in the backfield. Going to be a loss of 2 on the play. And again, after early success, clearly Oceanside's keying on Brown now. Made it a point of emphasis to slow him down. He's down to about 4.5 yards a carry. Still a nice evening, but it's been tough yardage the last 7 or 8 carries.
You know, talking to Coach Cabrera, their D-line coach, he would love to have full access to Schuffer, as he has great get-off speed and is able to use his long arms to keep the defenders off of him and make plays.
All right, just a short loss there, loss of 1, so we'll call it 2nd and 11. And Stewart with the cut and a good pursuit angle there, and the tackle made by Jonathan Sengi. Did I get it right? Okay. My apologies to the Sengi family. Good tackle there.
Now Schuffer on the assist as well, coming from that back end. You do see the speed that Schuffer has.
All right, we're going to throw it down to our sideline reporter, Semele Espitia. Semele, take it away.
Right now, the tension is increasing. In the third quarter, we just saw a 67-yard line touchdown allowed Oceanside to turn the tables on the game. The fans in Wildcat Country are still hopeful for a home victory. A recovered fumble by Wildcats on the 30-yard line hyped up the stakes in this portion of the game.
All right, hey, thanks, Semele. Okay, so we got 3 quarters in the books. City championship, it's a nail-biter. Oceanside leads 14-10.
Yeah, 14-10, and Oceanside's happy to be on top. Going into the half, it was 10-7 where they were trailing. Oceanside finds himself in the lead, and now they're going to take El Camino's approach, in which they're going to try to chip away at the clock.
I meant to ask you about this earlier, Josh, but while the guys are getting back on the field here, you played in this game. What were the results, and what was your feeling as was it typically an end of the season battle for you guys as well?
It was an end of the season battle, and I remember going up against the El Camino defense that was huge, that had a Jimmy Malo that just laid me out my junior year. I seen him in the stands today, actually before the game.
I hold that thought as Stewart gets the ball, and a good tackle there. That's number 28 on the tackle for Oceanside. That's Julian Hicks. Slows Stewart down after a gain of about 3 or 4. That's going to bring up a 4th down situation. So you got laid out. You see the guy here. I assume you guys are on friendlier terms now.
Oh,
right?
definitely,
okay,
definitely
good.
a good man. He was also sitting next to Lengi Sueanoa, who played here at El Camino, is now a coach at the University of Hawaii. So just a great game to be a part of. You know, you can continue to reference back these games numerous years later, and then just something that everybody looks to be a part of on a yearly basis.
Lots of memories, a storied history between these two rivals as Garcia takes the fair catch and secures it nice and clean there. So how many of these rivalry games did you play in?
I played in two. I was on the sideline for one of them my sophomore year, but then my junior and senior year is when I played. My junior year, I actually won player of the game in this stadium against El Camino. And then my senior year, we also won that game at Oceanside. Player of the game that time was Nathan Serta, who is also in the stands today, I believe.
It's not homecoming on the schedule, is it?
It is not homecoming.
But it feels like a homecoming every time these two teams play. Renewed friendships, renewed rivalries. Schuffer keeps it. Nifty little run there, still on his feet. And now I just heard the PA announcer say Schuffer, so if I've been saying his name wrong all night, then my apologies. So I'm going to flip a coin here, but we'll call him Schuffer on this carry. But
let's go with Schuffer the last quarter.
He gets it out to the...
All right, but Schuffer saving it, man. It looked like there was some confusion on the handoff, and he turns that play into a first down.
All right, so I'm just going to say max on this play with the give inside. That's down to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Oceanside looking to chip away, have their two tight ends in there, continuing to give it off to Tevin Meadows. Looks like they're going to get Jake Bernard back into the running game, straight up the gut. It's a very kamikaze-type running back and likes to run people over instead of run around him.
Well, I'm sure that the Pirates want to burn some clock here, too. As the give there on 2nd and 6. At 21, the ball carrier, Jake Bernard. Not much room to run there. That'll bring up a 3rd down and about 6 for the Pirates.
Bernard, Oceanside's leading rusher, who didn't start the year off as the starter, but due to some ankle injuries with Tevin Meadows and his consistency at the running back position, has gained himself a starting nod on both ways of the ball.
Oh, trouble. Is that ball intercepted? It is indeed. That's a critical turnover there as Schuffer's pass had a little bit of air under it. Long throw across the field. And intercepting that is Sean Ward, 6'1", 170-pound senior. Made a great read on the ball, closed, brings it in, keeps the feet in bounds, and that's a critical turnover. Big game changer there for the Wildcats.
Yeah, the senior just saw the play developing, took a good angle, came down with the ball. Now the Wildcats have a chance to get this lead back. Big play by the senior.
All right, 1st and 10 on the Oceanside side of the field for Casey. A slow developing play and the fumble, good recovery there, but absolutely nowhere to go for Christian Betts. Once the ball was on the ground, that play was just blown up, and lucky to recover his own fumble and avoid disaster there, but costly loss there on 1st down. That'll bring up a 2nd and 12 for the Wildcats.
As he looked up from the exchange, all that he saw were Oceanside defenders. And Christian Betts is actually their backup quarterback. And it looks like he was about to throw the ball on that play.
Yeah, that formation definitely had that kind of look where he was going to peel it around and then find somebody down the field. But not to be this time. Brings up a 2nd and 12 for the Wildcats. 3 wides to the near side. 1 wide receiver split up top. Brown in the backfield. Bring it back to Bullock. Nifty play there. Gets a good hunk of yardage back. That'll bring up a 3rd and probably 7 situation. Now we'll call it 3rd and 6. But a gain of 8 for Bullock. No hesitation. The give to Brown. Plunges off right tackle, and he's going to barrel forward for about 4 yards. That's going to bring up a 4th and short. And it looks like
They're going for
Wildcats are considering this 4-down territory as Casey comes over to talk to his head coach.
They're going for it. I don't think anybody would be surprised if the ball went to Brown on this play. So I might look for something to Stewart to kind of offset that defense.
Wildcats taking their time here. Bullock wide open, makes a move, still on his feet to the 10-5, touchdown El Camino. Brilliant individual effort by Cameron Bullock on the hookup from Casey. Breaks a tackle, makes a spin, runs to the pylon, and the Wildcats retake the lead.
Big play by Bullock. He was actually wrapped up.
Great look at the crowd there, Josh. The faithful got really loud here all of a sudden, and why not? Bullock just put a charge into this stadium.
The energy is definitely back on the sidelines. See the band is striked up. Fans are cheering. Great play by Bullock on that. Show some determination on breaking through that.
Extra point is good. El Camino retakes the lead on a thrilling touchdown exchange. Casey to Bullock. Outstanding individual effort. That's that old yak, yards after catch. Bullock makes the catch in space, makes a guy miss, and then it was off to the races, and he wins.
Yeah, they had a chance to bring him down. I believe it was Jonathan Sangi that had him wrapped up, but was able to stiff arm and get his way out of there. Put 6 on the board. Very crucial series. Coming up next for Oceanside Pirates. They need to convert on this because if the Wildcats get the ball back, they'll be able to stall out, take a lot of time off that clock.
You can definitely see a little swagger, a little bounce in the step as we get another look at the cheer squad for El Camino. But the Wildcats feeling pretty good about themselves right now, but there's still a lot of time left. 7:14, a lot can happen. Let's see if the Pirates have an answer.
Pirates definitely have a lot of weapons that they haven't got included in the game. And so Puka Kaleopa Tuiasea, Jake Girardi, we haven't really heard from today. And Azizi Hearn is also one of their receivers that they like to go to.
Yeah, Hearn had the big grab earlier in the contest, 60-plus yarder. But yeah, Mr. Girardi, I expect we're going to be calling his name, and not just in the kicking game in the final 7 minutes of this contest. They're going to find a way to get him the ball. Is that kick going to go out of bounds? It does. That's a penalty, and a costly penalty there for El Camino. Little special teams miscue there. Right idea. You want to keep it away from a dangerous returner, but just angled it too far and it goes out of bounds.
Kick out of bounds.
El Camino already striking up that I believe that we will win chant, made famous by former Chargers quarterback Drew Brees when he was with the New Orleans Saints. And that cheer actually has made its way back to San Diego State as well. You'll hear that at the basketball games if you get a chance to see them. That I believe that we will win.
Oh, yeah. That's become a staple at Montezuma Mesa as the Aztecs basketball and now football programs are just winning left and right. So it's been fun to watch. Good time for San Diego State athletics in the last 10 years or so. A lot of wins.
Yeah, definitely a lot of wins. They got a running back right now that's kind of positioning himself for the Heisman race. And that hasn't been unheard of since Marshall Falk was there years ago.
Yeah, Donnell Pumphrey, it's been a fun story. I think he's inched his way up to, I want to say, 4th all-time in the NCAA rushing list, and he's got a chance by the time this season is done, if he stays healthy, knock wood, to be the NCAA all-time yards rushing leader, which would be an amazing accomplishment. So anyhow, kick on the way, short kick this time, taken at the 15. Put on the brakes and go the other way. This could get interesting if he gets around the corner, but he does not. Still on his feet, but individual effort there by Azizi Hearn. Tried to turn it the other way, and that's a long run. Football field, 53 1/3 yards wide. He tried to turn a 20-yard return into he ran about 70 yards, but that was a crisscrossing across the field. But short return there. Oceanside will set up shop 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
Special teams coaches cringing on the sideline as he had some yards initially and probably lost about 5 yards when he tried to weasel his way out of that.
And again, these kids are just trying to make plays, but sometimes discretion, the better part of valor. Just take your chunk of yards and get down, but you certainly cannot blame the kids. It's all effort. All of these kids, it's all effort, all heart, all the time. That's what makes high school sports so great and the city championship so great. There's so much pride on both sides of the field that you see it in each and every play.
They all want to wait. They all want to win, and I'm sure they both feel this victory at their fingertips right now. And it's a matter of who's not going to make the mistakes, who's not going to get the penalties, who's not going to turn it over.
All right. The inside handoff there is going to bring up a 3rd down and short yardage situation. Call it 3rd and 1.5 yards for the Pirates. Clock running, 6:15 remaining here in the 4th. El Camino with the 3-point lead, 17-14 over crosstown rival Oceanside. And the give is that to Meadows, and he barrels forward and easily gets the 1st down. Yes, it is Meadows. Clock running. We're at 6 minutes. Actually, yeah, we'll wind it again. Brief clock stop after a 1st down, but it's rolling. 5:50.
That offensive line is getting a big push out there, making room for Meadows.
Oh, and
they're getting anxious.
Jump there. Back it up 5 yards for the Pirates, so that'll bring up a 1st and 15 situation.
Those are those penalties, Art, that we were talking about, that are costly in this. Emotions are running high right now within the rivalry game. Easy to make mistakes. Like I said, they both feel this victory within their grasp.
Game speeds up, your brain speeds up, the movements speed up, and that can lead to some costly mistakes. As Meadows, with a bounce and a nice run there on 1st and long, he gets most of it back. Nearly picks up the 1st down all by himself there. That's going to be a gain of 14. That'll bring up a 2nd and 1, and talk about an ultimate bailout right there on 1st and 15. Just give it to Meadows.
The same person that went offsides on that play was the same person that was pushing the El Camino defense back. Saya Galeopa Tuise. Saya. I'm sorry, Shannon.
And the give again to Meadows, 1-man act, and just puts his head down right into the chest. Little jawing there at the end of the play. As Sean Ward, the recipient of a helmet right to the top of the number 8. He does make the stop, but not after Meadows picks up 1st down yardage. Oceanside will bounce in their step here as they move the chains. 4:50 to go, 1st and 10, right at the midfield stripe.
Yeah, Jake Bernard noticed they're punishing back, but that time Tevin Meadows delivered a little something himself.
And Bernard checks in here as Schufer gives it to him. Bernard makes a man miss, gets to the 2nd level, and he's going to pick up about 4 yards. And pretty nifty little move right there. Just a little bit of a shoulder head thing to the left. Just enough to make a guy miss. Not flashy, but a very efficient runner.
Yeah, he's not flashy. And when he tends to be flashing, that's not in his best interest. He's a straight down the field runner, but that time definitely offsetting the linebacker to get a couple extra yards.
And the give again, and this time absolutely nowhere to go. Leading the charge on defense there is Rocky Katoanga. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 5 yards from the 45. Tick, 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 tick. We're down to 3:50 remaining in this contest. Art Root, Josh Naliai, Semele Espitia, and our entire KOCT team, thanks for joining us tonight. If you need to catch a replay of this game, we'll have it on Channel 18 starting, it'll be replayed on Saturday and Sunday at 8 p.m. on Channel 18. Schufer running for his life, and he is going to be dropped on the far side at the 49-yard line. A big play on defense there. 74, that's not a number we've called a lot tonight. That's Nick Parker on defense for El Camino. Great pursuit. And now Oceanside calls the timeout. a decision to make here. 4th and 9. They need a score. What do you do here?
They go for it. They need to go for it. They give the ball back to El Camino. They're not getting the ball back this game. They're going to just chip away at the clock. So this is a down that they definitely need to go for. We mentioned Girardi. I expect to see him back in here, taking advantage of that mismatch on the outside. These smaller cornerbacks, these smaller DBs that El Camino has that are 5'7" and 5'11", no match to the 6'4". So I'm sure they're going to be looking for ways to get him the ball on this next play. Three minutes left. This game has zapped by. Not a lot of time left in this game. Crucial play here.
All right, this one shaping up to be one for the record books that you're going to want to watch again. As you know, KOCT is available countywide on AT&T's UVerse Channel 99 or on Cox Cable in Oceanside. And of course, we are live tonight right now. This critical 4th down play for Oceanside. Pass to the sideline. Did he get the feet in? He does! An unbelievable catch on the sideline there. Was that Girardi with the grab? Finally called his number with a big play on offense, and you hear the boo birds on the El Camino side of the field. They do not agree with the call there by the officials, but that looked like a clean catch with the feet in bounds. Great play.
Looked like a clean catch, good read on that play. Way to get the ball to him, Schufer. Big play for Oceanside.
And Girardi's a mismatch. He's so long and so tall, so just what the doctor ordered for the Pirates, critical 4th down play. And Meadows slowed down there by number 45. That's Iosua Tuitasi for El Camino.
You are great at the announcing.
I'm working on it. Although if I've mangled Max Schufer's name all night, again, my apologies to the family. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I've not had a chance to talk to the young man, so anyhow, he's come up big on this drive with that great throw to Girardi. And that's a give down to the 25-yard line. Is that Meadows on the carry?
Tevin Meadows on the carry.
That's Tevin Meadows. Oceanside moving the ball, 2:25. Josh, you may be a little young for this, but there used to be something on the NFL broadcast when he got down to 2 minutes inside a tight game. Used to be a thing they called Alcoa Fantastic Finishes. So it was a commercial for some energy company, Alcoa. Anyhow, this is shaping up to be one of those Alcoa Fantastic Finishes. Some of the parents of kids at El Camino and Oceanside may recognize the reference. And Meadows, again off right tackle, bangs it down to the 17, 18-yard line. Oceanside with some momentum as they are moving the ball. 1:52 remaining in regulation. They trail by 3.
And this El Camino crowd has quieted it a little bit from the I believe that we will win chance. Definitely a little bit nervous as Oceanside's approaching. Looking to put up more points on the board. Defensive chance starting to pick up.
2nd and 3 for the Pirates, and the give there to Bernard. Fights and struggles his way, gain of 2.5. That's going to bring up a 3rd and short situation. 1:13 clock running here. Near capacity crowd here at Herb Meyer Stadium on the campus of El Camino High School. Witnessing a great contest. The rivalry game, city championship on the line as El Camino is clinging to a 3-point lead. Schufer changing the play. Jumbo package here on offense. And the pitch to Bernard. El Camino's got that sniffed out, but he breaks a tackle and great second effort there.
Big play by Bernard on that.
Tell you what, he looked like he was dead to rights in the backfield, but beat his man to the edge, got around the corner, and then just had a head of steam and found some daylight. Picks up a huge first down. Now Oceanside calls a timeout here with 37.1 seconds remaining. What a game. Living up to its billing. 7 years, worth the wait?
Worth the wait. a big play by Bernard right there. Pitch to the outside. He's more that takes it up in the inside. So I was questioning whether he was going to be able to make it to the outside. Able to break some tackles, get a first down. And it is becoming, what is that, RKO 2-minute?
Alcoa fantastic
Alcoa.
Finishes.
It is definitely
just
Alcoa
look it up
fantastic.
on YouTube. I mean, it's not that big a deal, but it's just something I remember from my youth. So the Alcoa presents fantastic finishes. And then they would show some highlight from a game that had some amazing finish. And that was back in the day. That was before ESPN and 24/7 coverage. So, but it is a fantastic finish shaping up indeed. Right here on KOCT, Art Root, Josh Naliai, and our entire team thrilled to bring you high school football live. And it got really loud here. And the pitch to Meadows finds a crease, and he is knocked down at the 10. Another timeout here, yes, Oceanside. Probably, that could very well be their final timeout. I don't know if they have one left, but down to 30 seconds. Meadows shaken up on the play. He's limping as he heads back to the Oceanside sideline.
30 seconds for all the marbles in the city championship. I'd love to be in those huddles right now, hearing what they're talking about, what those players are.
And Josh, we're not going to get a chance, it looks like, to do it, but there's a very important and conspicuous absence here tonight. Pulu Pamele was a giant in this town, and for both of these programs, you had some nice thoughts about him. Why don't you share a little bit about Coach Pamele?
Sure. Pomele actually died at the age of 44 while playing basketball with his buddies. He referenced as the Breakfast Club. Most recently served as the defensive coordinator.
We're going to hold that thought as we want to give Coach Pamele an honor that he so richly deserves in memoriam. But first, pump fake by Schufer. Oh, and the pass in and out of the hands. Two guys were looking at that one. Josh Garcia wanted the reception, and on the far side coverage, Cameron Bullock had interception on his mind. But a defensive-minded guy in Coach Pamele. Anyhow, you were saying, Josh.
Yeah, just a huge person, but a gentle giant. Everybody that I talked to had nothing but good things to say about him and positive memories. One of the impacts that he made on me was, he was just a great teacher, a coach, but the way that he treated other people, just was something that people remembered. Definitely something that I'm going to miss. He leaves behind a beautiful wife and 5 kids. We're definitely missing you, Uncle Pulu.
And he would have appreciated the scene here tonight so much. Capacity crowd, great game, tough, hard-nosed football. So, Coach, we miss you already, and you are a giant that will be remembered here in Oceanside. And there is a flag.
Lay a game on the offense.
That's a big call against the Pirates. Push him back 10 yards. Actually, is that just that might be just the 5-yard variety. 5-yard penalty, but all of a sudden, tactically here, 24.9. Pirates have to be very careful here, or they may get no points.
Yeah, I'm looking for them to put it in the air with 2 or however many plays that they have left, but not a lot of plays left. They need to put it up into the end zone or get it close for the kicker.
Schufer back to throw. He's got a receiver open in the corner. Pass falls incomplete. Garcia, the intended receiver. See some confetti flying already. That could be a little premature there. It's a 4th down play now for the Pirates. City championship on the line here. Can El Camino hold on? And Josh, I know you're already thinking about player of the game. Girardi's going to try and tie this thing up. This will be a 32-yard attempt for the veteran kicker, do-it-all Swiss Army knife, and El Camino wants to ice the kicker. They call timeout.
El Camino, it's the second timeout of the half.
And at the conclusion of the game, we're gonna do a little bit of housekeeping, but Josh will join Semele on the sideline to present our Player of the Game award. So I know Josh is thinking about that honor right now. But we've still got some football to play here, and I don't know if the player of the game has quite been decided yet. This thing's going down to the last minute. 17-14, El Camino leads. 19.3 fateful seconds remain here at Herb Meyer Stadium. El Camino High School, Art Root, Josh Naliai, Semele Espitia, and our entire KOCT team with the generous support of the Oceanside Unified School District. Thank you for joining us tonight. Jake Girardi on for the 32-yard attempt. Good snap, good hold, kick is on the way. And he drills it, ice cold. Ice water in those veins. We got a tie ball game.
You know, the coach talked about a Swiss Army knife and that he can do everything. Jake Girardi just did what was necessary to take this game and extend it. Now they have to make probably 1 or 2 stops here in order to take it into overtime, but this is the type of game that we were looking for. You know, when you're looking at a city championship, this is what you want. You don't want any blowouts. You want these close games. And
El Camino,
it is exciting.
Yeah, this is just edge of your seat type stuff. We talked about it before the game as we were scouting, and this doesn't surprise us in the least. We were expecting El Camino to give Oceanside all they wanted, and they have done that tonight. So terrific matchup. Just so pleased to bring it to you right here on KOCT. Replays Saturday and Sunday on Channel 18. And you can catch it in all of its HD glory on video on demand. If you go to KOCT.org, video on demand, you can catch this game in full HD. .2 seconds remain. Girardi set to kick it away. And we've seen some crazy things with El Camino late kickoffs. They had a kickoff run back against them at the end of the first half a couple of weeks ago. Can they return the favor and get a deep return here? They do not. Girardi takes that completely off the table by booming it through the end zone. Touchback. If you're the Wildcats, what do you do here with 14.2 seconds left?
You got to take advantage of that quarterback's arm, try to get it down the field. I'd be focusing on Stewart right now.
Could be one of those things, too, where you're trying to draw a penalty downfield, so you got a shot at a Hail Mary. With 14.2, I don't know if you can get enough snaps to get it far enough to get into a reasonable field goal range. Almost like a deep shot down the field, hope for a catch or a foul, and enough time for another desperation heave. But we'll see what they do. 14.2. 2 wide receivers split left, 2 split right. Casey changing the call there. Actually, he actually gets it under center, and there's going to be a late flag. Is this going to be a delay of game?
Legal substitution, 12 men on the field, defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
All right, 12 men on the field for Oceanside, so that's a 5-yard penalty. Not a super big deal in the field position situation here with 14 seconds left. But El Camino will take all the yards they can get here in the closing seconds.
And it looks like they are going underneath the center.
All right, so this is take a snap and live to fight another day here. As the clock winds down. All right. We are at the end of regulation. This will be another first, 7-year wait. It's the first overtime contest that I can remember covering for KOCT, so a real treat, some bonus coverage. Art Root, Josh Naliai, Semele Espitia, KOCT crew. And while we've got a second, just want to thank the generous supporters who made this all possible tonight. Oceanside Unified School District Board of Education, we really appreciate your support. Mike Blessing, President. Dr. Adrienne Hakes, Vice President. Robert Camo Gleesberg, Clerk of the Board. Ann Corwin, a member. Emily Ortiz Wickman, also another member. And from the Oceanside Unified School District, Dr. Dwayne Coleman, the Superintendent. Lisa Contreras, Director of Communications. Sharon Strong, teacher here at El Camino. Of course, both head coaches, Jerry Ralph and David Rodriguez. From the city of Oceanside, Yukari Brown is the IT division manager. Ian Johnson and Todd Campana, Info Systems Analyst 4. And they're with the city of Oceanside's Information Technologies Department. And I'll do the roll call of the KOCT crew at the conclusion of the ball game, but we're going to get another coin toss here since it is overtime. As the coaches, great sportsmanship there, a lot of mutual respect, and greet each other at midfield.
Getting all the rules confirmed. As Rodriguez strategizes. Rodriguez in his second year coming over from the state of Arizona, where he was a head coach and was selected as candidate for Coach of the Year out there in Arizona prior to joining the staff on Oceanside last year, en route to his first CIF championship, CIF San Diego section championship as a head coach for the Oceanside Pirates.
All right. Captain's coming to midfield here. Give me a roll call, Josh. Who's out there?
So we got Donovan Laie, Michael Bernal, Jake Girardi, and Max Schuffer representing Oceanside. Jaden Casey, Chris Brown representing El Camino. And number 52 is Joseph Carvajal. And number 64, Quinn Kerwin, who is the leader of the offensive line.
All right.
Now, two players that I'm considering right now for player of the game are definitely right there at the forefront. Chris Brown and Girardi's definitely got to be considered right now. Coming up with that big first down conversion and then kicking the field goal to take them into overtime. And, of course, Chris Brown just chipping away at the Oceanside defense.
Yep. Clutch kick there by Girardi. We called it. I mean, I actually had said that I figured we'd call his name in something in a non-kicking game situation, but he makes the big catch, and then stone cold ice water in the veins there with the drilling that field goal attempt to tie the game. And so we get ready for overtime.
You know, as a coach's son, he's probably seen a lot of these moments. His father is Rick Girardi, who is the offensive line coach. And taking a look right here at Jerry Ralph with his El Camino crew.
That was a great shot, you guys. Getting a look there at Coach talking to his guys. Big enthusiastic crowd here at Herb Meyer Stadium. El Camino High School, home of the Wildcats. This storied rivalry been pretty one-sided. Last win for El Camino, 2010?
2010, back when Pulu Pomele was coaching them.
El Camino gets the ball first here, and Stewart struggling for yardage, giving a ride to number 22, Micah Lennon. Lennon slows him down and finally brings him down. Stewart gets it to the 21-yard line. That'll bring up a second, and we'll call it 6.
So high school rules a little bit different from college and a little bit different from the NFL, which the NFL actually changed their overtime rules as well.
Yep.
But with high school, they're going to get a chance to put it in, as well as Oceanside if they are able to put it in.
All right, there's Brown burrowing his way down to the 16-yard line, going to be close to first down yardage.
Brown's got to be around 80 yards.
Yeah, I've got him unofficially at about 70, but I might have missed one in there somewhere. But a workmanlike performance tonight. Big gains early. It's been tough yardage since, but he's still doing a great job back there. Third, and we'll call it 2 yards to go. And there's a penalty, and that's going to be, wait for the official ruling here.
defense.
That's offsides.
5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Offsides against the Pirates, so move it up 5 yards. First down for the Wildcats. They are in business at the Pirates' 12-yard line.
You know, we thought penalties would be costly coming into this game, and it has been. Wildcats able to convert, get a first down, fresh set of downs.
Casey gets a snap, gives it to Brown, finds some room. No call yet. Did he get it in? It is awfully close. His teammates are saying yes, but the officials are saying no, down at about the 1 foot line. Wow, what a run there by Brown.
Yeah, what a run by Brown. Looked like he did get in there, but great cutback by him on that. Good vision.
They get him to the line quickly. Oceanside has no chance to regroup. Casey's going to keep it on the keeper. Did he get it in? Delayed call. And they finally give him the touchdown. And the El Camino faithful going crazy. Delayed call there as Casey just willed his way into the end zone. I think there was so many bodies in the pile, the officials couldn't tell if he had broken the plane. But they give him the touchdown. And it's 23-17 El Camino here. They score on the first possession of overtime.
Yeah, good push by the offensive line. The entire stadium thought that Chris Brown was getting the ball on that. Casey able to just take it in behind that great push.
Whistle had blown before the kick was away. There was a penalty. That's offsides on Oceanside. That is declined. However, the try had not happened yet, so we're going to go for 2. Nope, going to kick it. All right, so we'll try it again. Standard extra point distance, 20 yards. And it's good. So El Camino strikes first in the first overtime here. With the score, it's 24-17 Wildcats.
Oceanside looking really low energy right now as you take a look at them walking on and off the field.
Yeah, body language is no good. And I'm sure Coach Rodriguez sees that, and so probably looking for somebody to light a fire here. Meanwhile, it's all about the swagger on El Camino's sideline. Feeling really good about things right now. Oceanside, of course, has a chance to answer. They'll take over 1st and 10 here from the 25. So Josh, explain to the audience how the rule works here. What's on the line here on Oceanside's possession?
So Oceanside needs to score here. They'll have, just like a regular series, 4 downs to make a first down, but they need to get up into the end zone and kick a field goal in order to maintain this game.
That's
but
right.
They both will have chances.
And he's got a wide open receiver in the corner. And is it picked off? Are they saying the pass was intercepted or it was dropped? I think the pass was ruled dropped. Had it been an interception, the game would have been over. El Camino was begging for the call there. They did not get it. But a great play on the far side there. Who was that on the coverage?
That was Sean Ward, who also had an interception earlier in the game. Would have been his 2nd interception of the night.
Yeah, Ward peeking in the backfield there. The receiver was open when the ball was released, but by the time it got there, Ward had closed. Almost made the great interception. It's 2nd down for the Pirates. Schufer back to pass with the pump fake and the throw, and he's got a receiver open. Touchdown, Oceanside. What an answer, just like that. Puka Kalioputuisee with the touchdown for the Pirates. That's a great play. It's a great answer, and now critical extra point for the Pirates in this instant classic. Just goes on and on. Great plays by both sides. Wow, are we getting spoiled rotten tonight? 7 years worth the wait Oceanside needs to convert here, of course.
Big play by Puka on that, coming up with that touchdown.
Snap, kick, Girardi's kick on the way. It's good. It is 24-24. Are you ready for some more football?
I'm ready for some double overtime.
Wow. Unbelievable turn of events here at Herb Myers Stadium. We're still going. It's 24-24.
Definitely an exciting game. Huge play by Puka. We were talking about him earlier. Averages 24.9 yards a catch. Is one of their big play receivers. They haven't been able to get in the game. Great time to get involved.
And how many out there? 25. Right on his
Sticking
number.
to his average.
Right on his number.
He knows when they need him.
That's right. Hey, Coach, I got this. You need 25 yards? I got this. No, great scheme, great design. He was wide open, and Schufer with the strike. And Puka did a nice job looking it all the way in, securing it. Caught it on his body, protected it right away, so no chance of a drop. Outstanding play.
You know, we talked about the team losing swag, but, you know, the person that does have the swag is Max Schufer. You know, after just almost throwing a pick, comes back and connects on the next play for a touchdown.
All right, so alternating possessions here. Actually, it flips, so now Oceanside gets the ball first. Schufer back to throw. Looking the same way, same play! Oh, almost the same result. They literally dialed up the twice in a row. Well, why not? It worked the first time, but this time El Camino sniffs it out. Makes a nice play on defense. Who was that coverage on there on that?
I believe that was Marcus Parsons, their senior cornerback on the coverage on that play. Closed on the ball really well because Puka did look at that play. Great closure by Parsons on the play.
All right, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 10. 24-24, Art Root, Semele Espitia, KOCT team. Thanks for joining us. Double overtime action. Pump fake by Schufer, going to the corner again. He's got a receiver open. They gonna say he's out of bounds? Oh, there's a bit of a conference here. What's the rule? Can we get a ruling?
That was out of bounds.
All right, so I guess
so a flag on
penalty
the play.
flag on the play negates the result of the play. I'm not even sure if the play was considered a catch and inbounds anyway, but penalty moves Oceanside back. So big turn of events here. A big costly penalty, personal foul variety, moves them all the way back to the 40-yard line. Schufer gets the play from the sideline, brings it to his mates in the huddle. Get a good look there at the El Camino bench. 2nd and 25. Actually, 2nd and nearly 30. Deep strike. Still on his feet, down to the 2-yard line. Josh Garcia with the great catch and effort there. Second and a million, Oceanside converts. El Camino's got to be kicking themselves. Oceanside with the 1st and goal now.
Schufer is playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Absolutely.
You know, he's willing to take a chance,
Moving
putting
his
the
way,
ball where he needs to be.
Moving his way up in the player of the game consideration as well.
Definitely.
Outstanding throw, great catch by Garcia. All of a sudden, El Camino, or Oceanside knocking on the door. It's 1st and goal from the 2. And the give is to Meadows. He burrows his way in. Touchdown, Oceanside. Pirates retake the lead, 33-27. Back and forth battle. What a football game. You get a look at the Ocean. Full, made the trip cross town. everybody's on their feet almost the entire game. This has been some contest, and Girardi on for the extra try. The Swiss Army knife, do-it-all player Pirates trying to make it a game. Another penalty. It's going to be an offsides.
Defense. That penalty is declined. Replay the try.
All right, so we'll replay the try here after the decline of the penalty. Again, you can catch replays of this game Saturday and Sunday at 8 o'clock on Channel 18. This game will also be made available next video on demand at KOCT.org and will be replayed extensively on KOCT throughout the month of November. Nearly a blocked extra point try, but Girardi gets it up and through. So El Camino needs a touchdown here, just like Oceanside did 2 possessions ago. Touchdown to match. El Camino has to do the same thing.
And I might be questioning what I would do if I score if I'm El Camino, because if they go for 2 and they make that, game over at that point.
We saw that in the NFL this year, and not in an overtime situation, but Raiders that rolled and went for 2 to put away a game in the Week 1 opener. So we'll see if something similar could happen tonight, but El Camino trails by a touchdown. Oceanside 31-24. Clock no longer running here in this modified high school overtime situation.
Max Schufer back in at defensive end for the Pirates.
Casey back to throw, steps up, buys himself some time. He's gonna first down yardage. Nifty play there with his feet by Jaden Casey.
Yeah, Casey, not known as a scrambler, has actually been working on his speed, but that time able to get a good chunk of yardage out there to give him a 2nd and short.
All right, 2nd and 1 for the Wildcats. Need a touchdown and an extra point to prolong this. 3 wide receivers split left for the Wildcats. 1 receiver up, Chris Brown in the backfield. And the give is to Brown. He stumbles coming out of the backfield, and he'll be down there. Unlike the NFL, college and in high school, when your knee is down, play is over.
Yeah, he tried to get up on that one. I wouldn't be surprised if that boy ends up in the NFL. With the size that he has, his burst, already has a scholarship offer from UC on the table for him.
Okay.
Pac-12 schools looking his way.
We've seen so many kids continue their football careers and their academic careers on Saturdays. And then there have been quite a few that we've seen play on Sundays too that have started right down here at this field. Casey, the give to Brown. Not much there, but looks like he got enough for first yardage. Yes, that's enough to move the chains. So first down. You see Casey signal there, first down for his Wildcats. 1st and 10 from the 15.
Yeah, the Wildcats should be in no rush. Continue to work this. Try to make small increments towards the end zone.
Great look there, ground level shot. El Camino breaking the huddle, and again, a familiar formation here. 2 wide receivers split left, 1 in the slot. They're gonna switch things up a little bit as Stewart moves into the slot. And Casey wants Stewart. Actually, that was Bullock. Oh, and through the hands of Bullock, and almost a circus catch there by Garrett Hendren. That would have been an incredible result. Not to be, but sure was exciting as that ball was fluttering in the air, and it looked like they still might come down with it.
Yeah, that was Garrett Hendren who almost came down with it. And when I talked to Coach Ralph before the game, or prior to this game, he said that about him, he's always in the right place at the right time, in which he was right there, just unable to come up with it that time.
All right, so 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats. And Casey has operated out of the shotgun pretty much exclusively tonight. 1 snap under center that I recall. Stewart in motion. Inside give to Brown. He bounces it out left. It's a race to the corner, and he's going to get it all the way down to the 3-yard line. Another great individual effort by Brown. He's inching closer to that 100-yard mark tonight, Josh.
And he really likes to bounce it back to that left side. I went to the Carlsbad game last week, and he probably bounced it back to the left at least 10 times during that game. I'm sure Oceanside saw that on the film, but that time unable to stop him.
Situation is clear for both teams. Oceanside gets a stop here, they win. El Camino has to score a touchdown. Extra point or a 2. Extra point to tie, 2 to win. And another penalty thrown in the backfield there. And that one will go against El Camino, back him up.
You know, one of the things that you can see on the Oceanside sideline is all of the alumni that have come back to this game, and that's one of the emphasis that Dave Rodriguez has, is that he's really trying to keep that strong connection with the alumni. He knows that they have high expectations, and that's what he wants to push onto his players, that they continue to have those high expectations that were set back in the John Carroll years.
All right, Casey with the give to Brown, and absolutely nothing doing there. Almost catching the handoff there in the backfield. Number 22, Micah Lennon, and number 75, Donovan. Did I get that right?
You got
All
it
right,
right.
I'm on a roll. We haven't called Laie's name a lot tonight, but that was an impact play on defense right there.
It almost looked like nobody even at the time was fully in the back on that play. It's just massive as I'm looking at him. 6'6", 290. He looks like more than 290.
It's funny because TV's usually slimming, but or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. No, maybe it puts 20 pounds on you. I don't know. All right, Casey going up top. Well covered there. Pass falls incomplete.
A lot of reaction from this El Camino crowd. There was some contact on that play from the DB. I believe that was Julian Hicks on the coverage. But a lot of contact on that play. El Camino fans voicing their opinion.
Yeah, definitely some jostling for position there. Not so sure that ball was catchable, but El Camino faithful begging for a call there. That'll bring up a 3rd down. Casey talking to Brown there in the backfield. Steps up, fires, and that pass incomplete. Good coverage there. And now, to not put too fine a point on it, here's the ball game. El Camino has to play here.
Rocky Katawanga, the intended receiver on that play. And this big play for El Camino.
All right, so the game in the balance here for the Wildcats. 4th down situation. Deep into the night here at Herb Myers Stadium. Extra football to be played right here on KOCT as Casey rolls to his left. And he is gonna get dropped. Ball is out. Are they gonna say that's an incomplete pass? They do, and that's the ball game. Jubilant Oceanside Pirates run out to the middle of the field. They are the champions. City championship is retained by the Oceanside Pirates. Valiant effort by the El Camino Wildcats, but it falls just a little bit short Oceanside holds on in overtime, 31-24. Josh Naliai's got to head down to the sideline with Semele Espitia to award our player of the game. But before we do that, we're going to take a short break. So stick around and catch your breath. I know we need to catch our breath. You've been watching the High School Football City Championship right here on KOCT.
North County is home to thousands of people, all with places to go. Traveling has never been easier thanks to the North County Transit District. With technology getting more advanced, North County residents can expect public transportation to get an upgrade as well. Planning your trips has never been easier. On your computer, you can now access all routes through Google Maps. Let's say you're looking to travel to the Oceanside Pier from Miracosta College. Just put in the details and click on the transit icon at the top of the page. Available is a list with up-to-date information on the current Breeze and Sprinter routes. Just click on the one you prefer, and the route information is displayed. Not at a computer? No problem. This service is fully available on your mobile device as well. Just open up the Google Maps app, put in your destination, select transit, and you're on your way. All information is completely up to date, so you'll never miss your bus or train. These are just some additional steps that are being taken to streamline your travel here in North County. Go to gonctd.com or visit your local transit center for more information. Give them a call at 760-966-6500. Safe travels, North County.
This is Zoe. She's 1. And she's running for president. Potentially in 2064. Because if she's kept safe and eats well, has the opportunity to learn and grow, if she has help getting ahead and support along the way, then Zoe could be president. Like her hero, Ababam Binken. Help kids like Zoe dream big. The why for early learning, childcare, mentorship, and more. For a better us. Donate to the why at zoeforpresident.net.
Use motor oil or cocktail or toxins. Dispose carefully, you got lots of options. Never the trash, the drain, or the ground. That's insane and it ain't safe and sound. Oceanside is a zero-waste city. Oceanside is a zero-waste city. Oceanside is a zero-waste city. Oceanside is a zero-waste city.
Recycle used oil and filters at certified collection points in Oceanside. For locations, see greenoceanside.org.
We're joined here tonight by Max Schuffer, tonight's City of Oceanside Player of the Game. The quarterback and defensive end, which came out victorious tonight over El Camino High School. So Max Schuffer, what was your motivation coming into this game?
All year we play for Pulu. We've been Pulu strong, playing in his name. All for him.
So all for Pulu, the former defensive coordinator for you. What did it feel like coming up with that last play of the ball game, coming up with the sack that gave you the victory tonight?
It felt great. I get limited reps on defense, but I try and make the most of it.
Nice. And you definitely made the most of it tonight.
So what does it feel like to be player of the game?
It feels great, but shout out to my O-line. They all made it happen.
Yeah, the O-line made it happen, but it was his play on defense that really stuck out, that solidified the game tonight. So we want to congratulate Max Schuffer for the player of the game tonight in the 2016 City Championship of Oceanside. Art, back to you.
Hey, thanks, Josh and Semele, and congratulations to Max Schuffer, our player of the game tonight. City Championship is retained by the Oceanside Pirates in overtime, 31-24. Wow, what a contest. Hope you had a lot of popcorn tonight. And if you started with fingernails, you probably didn't have them by the end. That was a nail biter indeed. Want to take a moment to thank everybody who made this possible tonight. First, the generous support of the Oceanside Unified School District. starting with Mike Blessing, their president, Dr. Adrienne Hakes, vice president, Robert Camo Gleesberg, clerk of the board, Ann Corwin and Emily Ortiz-Wickman, they're members of that board. And of course, a thank you to the Oceanside Unified School District, Dr. Dwayne Coleman, superintendent. Lisa Contreras is the director of communications. Sharon Strong, El Camino High School teacher. Of course, both head coaches, Jerry Ralph and Dave Rodriguez. From the City of Oceanside's IT department, Yukari Brown, Ian Johnson, and Todd Campana. And our unbelievable KOCT staff dusting everything off after 7 years and making it like not a day has elapsed, starting with our executive director, Tom Reeser, our station manager, Jake Rush, Aaron Capehart, Angela Miranda, Bill Peters, Phoenix Von Hendy, Tristan Sagan, Toby Macy, Kelly Davis, John Belts, Miguel Blanco, Jim Davis, Suniva Rustad, Tamara Illich, Grace Lazaga, Beverly Woodworth, and to our sideline reporter, Semele Espitia, my color commentating partner, Josh Naliai. My name is Art Root. It's been a pleasure bringing you this game tonight. Watch for replays throughout the month of November. You can get this in HD on video on demand at koct.org, and we'll have replays again, like I said, throughout the month of November and this weekend on Channel 18. So that's the final, as Oceanside wins in a thriller in overtime, 31-24. We bid you a fond good night from El Camino High School, Herb Meyer Stadium. We'll see you around the corner for high school basketball, but until then, this is Art Root signing off. You've been watching the High School Football City Championship right here on KOCT.